Hello. If I've done things correctly, audio should be good, and we're golden, and you can hear me. It's a pleasure to see you again. We missed you a whole bunch. I have no announcements, I don't think. We really got to get on that. We should make announcements more. But with that
I would
being
like to
said,
announce how much I love you, Gilbert.
you're so sweet. That's so sweet. It won't save you, but it is sweet. Um, let's go ahead and jump right into it and meet our players, shall we?
Hey, everybody. It's me, Avery. Back at it again, doing, Bard stuff. This evening I'll be playing Calamus Acros, and you can find me everywhere on all the social medias at Golden Gwydion, and I'm also a community ambassador right here for the Rolling Nomads.
Hello, I'm Luna, or Druid by Night. You can find me at Druid by Night on all the things. And tonight I will be playing Supreme and Lover to a Vampire, Cersei Abilene.
Hi, I am Rachel, also known as Azure. I am the creative director here on Rolling Nomads, and I am playing the Disaster Bear Witcher, Ingrid of Sintra.
Oh, tonight I will be playing Relg, future prospector / builder, potential hero, question mark. But usually I'm as I was on social media because I think I'm funny. So yeah, that's me and my character, and I think we did it.
You did
Nerf.
indeed. We can all pack up, go home now. We're good.
Really?
Excellent.
Okay.
No, absolutely. We're already home. What are we doing here? All right. This is gonna be an unhinged downtime episode. I can't wait for it. So we won't. Let's jump right into it. Today's episode of Ways of Old. We begin each episode as we always do with a recap. By me. That's right, it's mine. And I just got home like 5 minutes ago, so this is gonna be unhinged. Our companions, feel free to jump in, everybody. This is gonna, like I said, this is gonna be real bad. Our companions, all gathered around to hear Aurelia's truth, or at least what she would be willing to give. Our friends here gathered, and attempted to interrogate the mage using Axie and not really please, but kind of urging her to just be honest and that misinformation and lies, secrets that simply wouldn't do in this time of turmoil. Aurelia complied to the best of her ability. She confessed that there was things she couldn't say, that it was not for the group to ponder or to know. When she grew tired of their questioning and their accusations, and notably after Calamus had stormed out, she had departed, saying her goodbyes to Cersei and bidding farewell to Ingrid and Relg. She used the spell Teleport and absconded from this place. All of our heroes had bouts with emotion and feeling. Calamus, having claimed in this moment what have we called him? The emotional support horse, pretty good, and began
Pretty
to...
good as a girl, by the way.
Oh,
been
I
trying to-
apologize.
Yeah, pretty
That's
good's a girl. Amazing was the boy.
Copy. So,
He's now excellent, but only where Ingrid can't hear.
No, that was Aaron's horse.
rough.
Don't make me cry already.
Calamus had begun to clean out the muck in the stables after years of nonsense and time and filth. It definitely could use it. While this occurred, Elodie came out and spoke with him. The two had an exchange of words using poetic, I would call it, used flowery words. We'll just call it that. And had an emotional bonding moment, I would say. During this, Ingrid had stepped out after seeing the untouched shield that was still in her home, the polished from time of individuals breaking, squatters and thieves, whoever might be here during her time or absence away, had polished the seal of Sintra with their touch. Ingrid, needing some time alone, absconded into the woods. And as we saw, grievously destroyed her gauntlets by punching a tree, attempting to let loose some of the emotion and the anguish from being back here. She was found by Calamus, and the two exchanged words, hopefully leaving Ingrid feeling a bit better. While this happened, Cersei and Relg had their moment alone and shared an incredible bit of knowledge, I would say. That which could be summed up in a number of words, a handful really. People, not power. This is almost where we left our heroes. But during all of this, after they had regathered once more, when Calamus and Relg retired to christen, or rechristen perhaps, the bedroom of this hovel, we'll call it, Ingrid.
Hovel. Hovel. That is a cottage. That is a cabin.
The Hunter's
Also,
Lodge.
The Hunter's Lodge.
So,
What?
while this was going on, Cersei and Ingrid realized they didn't know where Elodie was. And so they tracked her through the woods and found her crouched over a dead deer who she had torn apart in order to get to its heart. She was covered in blood, and both of you had noticed the look of shame. Not run, she did not try to brush it off. She merely fell into Cersei's arms, shamed and sobbing. This is where we left our heroes, on this high note. With that, we'll take a look at where you all are now. In this evening, as the sun began to set, Ingrid and Cersei, you are with Elodie. You may choose to walk back. The scene, for the time being, is yours. You may choose to walk back to the lodge, or you may... Really, it's up to you.
I think in this moment, Cersei is still cradling Elodie, still saying a steady stream of comforting words, or trying to, until she calms down.
Understood. Ingrid, you had something.
Ingrid's watching this happen, not wanting to say the wrong thing in this moment. She will kneel down, not getting too close. But she will say, with her eyes looking at Cersei as she says this, should we clean up before
Getting
going
dark.
back?
Getting dark. But we can.
What would you like to do, Elodie?
She just shakes her head. She's kind of beyond words in this moment.
And kiss her forehead and pull her head close.
If you choose to go, she'll follow. If you choose to stay and wish to clean off a bit, you absolutely may. She won't leave you. She's...
While Cersei and Elodie are there, is there like a little river or creek near where we are?
Judging off the location of where you've placed this lodge, I'd say no, but you do have a well closer to the lodge.
Okay. Why don't we move closer back in then, and we can get some water from the well and clean Elodie up a little bit.
No, she'll nod, and she'll say to Elodie, "Does that sound okay? Can you stand?"
She nods. She stands.
And hold her hand.
Ingrid
Do
will lead
this.
the way.
You lead. Come back to the lodge. You clean off. Be sure that Elodie is as presentable as possible.
It's less about presentation and more about helping her be more comfortable.
Entirely fair. You do this.
How's she
There's-
looking now that she's cleaned up?
She looks better. But it's the internal that's the issue again. It's just... This one is fresh.
Yeah.
I'll ask her, what would you like to do for the rest of the evening?
Was that to me or?
Oh, to Elodie.
She, just kind of looks... She looks at you, but she's just kind of not really there. She just looks. She holds your hand tight.
And say that's okay. Why don't we go inside?
I can get a fire started.
Do this. We won't dwell much longer on this evening, unless there is something of note that any of you wish to do.
Ingrid did want to have a conversation with Elodie, but I think in this moment that's not going to happen. Like, not in a way that it should. So she's kind of just giving Elodie the space that she needs.
Understood?
I think that once Relg would doze off, Calamus did have something that he wanted to talk to Ingrid about if Ingrid would be night owling.
Ingrid doesn't need to sleep, technically, so... Yeah.
So, yeah, I think just Calamus just dressed in his justice leather comes out of the bedroom.
You froze for a split second there, so all I heard
Pants.
was... Okay. Because all I heard was just
Yeah.
leather boots. I'm like...
No, just his leather pants on, and you just kind of pull up a chair by the fire.
Ingrid's sitting there, probably on the couch, or what's left of that couch, staring into the crackling flame.
I heard what you said to that soldier the other day. That you have dreams that are disquieting to you. I'm not a man of medicine, though I've made medicine. I think, Ingrid, to relate this back to what we talked about a few hours ago, You need something to help you turn around and face yourself. I mean, that's why I take it. I'm not proud of the things that I've done.
It's when you say that she finally speaks up. Her mind thinking of what she just saw with Elodie not too long ago. What she's known of Cersei, and what she's seen with everybody else. I was gonna say, I wonder if there is any person free of that in this world.
Children. That's all.
It depends, I guess. My
Get the
childhood.
feeling. I was about to say, I get the feeling that your childhood was not without stain either.
I grew up in Nilfgaard, you know. For those small years.
I do remember you saying something about it. I think you were talking to Relg. I have a horrible problem eavesdropping. I'm so sorry.
It is okay. I have heightened hearing. I cannot help it sometimes either. It is okay.
Well, get a cup or two. Do you have cups here that haven't been pilfered?
Perhaps? Storyteller? Do I have cups that didn't get pilfered?
Absolutely not. But there are things in the cart.
Yeah, that's true. No, it seems...
I'll go get the cups from my tea set. It's quite all right.
Okay. I almost had Ingrid say okie dokie.
And Calamus will go out and grab them, and also grab the wineskin he hasn't actually opened yet in the journey that they've been on so far. There's always been a second one that remains untouched. And Calamus will bring them in, and from that wineskin, he'll pour, and it's a very sort of rich, like almost lavender purple liquid. And then he will reach into his stitched on side pocket on his jeans and pull out a vial of the hallucinogen, which is just sort of this kind of liquid that has these like golden particles that float in it in a very sort of miasmic quality. And he'll uncork it, and he'll 1 drop, 2 drops, 3 drops, 4 drops, and then put the cork back on. Slip it back into his pocket.
Are you doing this in the eye? In the eye of...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's everything in front of Ingrid.
She will say, is this the same stuff that you use to spike the soldiers' drink?
In a much lower dosage, yes.
I was about to say you
Dosages.
might need more from me.
I doubt it. Because this is not meant to affect your waking mind. It's something that my father discussed with Mousesack when I was a boy. Because the druids have special dreams, and I've heard witches have special dreams. You should only drink this right before you go into your meditation. It is not meant to affect your conscious mind in this dosage. It is simply meant to elevate your unconscious mind to a state where you are in no danger but may confront the perils of your own past. It doesn't always work the first time, so if it doesn't, don't be discouraged.
He's kind of staring at the... Did you hand it to her?
He's still just sort of stirring it, kind of getting a bead on Ingrid, which, once it's stirred, it takes up a very similar quality to these dice that I have.
Ooh, that looks good. That looks like it tastes very fun. Ingrid's just watching it swirl around as you mix it, and she's gonna say, with everything that's happened, with everything that we've talked about, and with everything that I spoke with Cersei about, I think it's finally time that I did. What did you say? Stop running.
Turn around.
Things
Now,
cannot
Ingrid-
stay the same.
He'll take that bottle out of his pocket and he'll sit it on the table and he'll kind of slide it towards Ingrid. No more than 4 drops until I make some more. This small bottle should last you about a week. And then I will need to make some more. That is the last of the hallucinogen I have prepared.
Well, I have tasted wizard's grass, so this will be an interesting shift to see what this will bring.
He'll slide the wineskin over to Ingrid as well. This is a blackberry mead that I have kept with me since I left Skellige. I don't know what is so special about it, but I just know that it is special. Half a tea glass and 4 drops. Any night you feel like you want to meditate on your past, this should do the trick.
Understood. And I apologize for my outburst earlier. You didn't
Don't.
deserve that.
Don't apologize. I don't need you soft, I need you focused and sharp.
I don't think I could ever be soft.
I don't know, Lady Ingrid.
Have you tried hitting me?
I did hit you.
Oh, you did. Yes.
Calmus will just smile. Now, if Relg rolls over and I'm not there, he's going to go into a whole mess. So, I'm gonna get back in there. Also, so sorry, that bed was disgusting, that mattress that was in there, and I got rid of it.
Do what you need to do. It has been 8 years since I was last here. I expected nothing to be here except the ceiling and the walls.
Didn't expect the door to be here. No, sorry. He just turns and heads into the bedroom.
Ingrid will sit there. She's gonna stare at the offerings that Calamus left her for the moment. And once everybody else is settled, I assume Relg and Calamus have one of the rooms, and then Elodie and Cersei have the other one.
Yeah, he offered it.
Yep. So yeah, the room that Ingrid would have given to Calamus and Relg would have been the one to the right, where it looks like there used to be a child that played there, and Elodie and Cersei got Ingrid's old room, which still had some old papers and some books scattered about on their desk.
I think
Um,
Cersei would have definitely gotten bedrolls to like throw over the mattress.
You don't like my moldy old mattresses that are 8 years old without upkeep?
No.
Oh no. Luna?
Oh.
Oh
Oh
no.
no.
Yes, hi.
Oh,
Hello.
You're good. You're good.
Okay, cool. I think Cersei would stay up with Elodie until she was feeling better and would just watch her.
In silence. And you hold one another. It's... Despite everything, despite what has transpired, it's just nice to be together again. Is there anything else of note?
For me, she's not going outside. She wants to stay in the central room, but she's going to assume her meditative stance, sword near, looking towards the front door, basically poising herself for anything that might come through, even with what she's about to do. And
Understood.
that is taking the drink that Calamus had offered her.
Understood. Relk, you look like you had something.
Yeah. So when Calamus comes back, like, Relg has been dead to the world. Like, it's been a long day. There was a lot of physical labor involved with today. But when the door opens again, he just kind of sits up. Alright, I think, okay, or...
Oh, yes, just getting Ingrid drunk and high. No worries.
I'm sure that's a good plan.
It was a joke, my darling.
No, I'm like...
Ingrid will only be drunk and high if she drinks the whole supply, which I doubt will happen.
So it's just offering the chance, and then... Should someone sit with her?
Then I gave Ingrid the special wine and a little bit of hallucinogen and described the dosage to achieve a minimal subconscious elevation. Just for meditative purposes.
I heard something about the past.
Yeah. Just can't run from it all the time.
Oh, you can't. Speaking of before, I was gonna talk to you, but we could always talk in the morning. But you talked about
Talk about,
Mousesack.
darling.
You talked about Mousesack, and then Aurelia talked about Mousesack. What do you remember about him?
He was a druid. He was sort of the court magister without being a mage for Queen Calanthe. And I heard that he died.
Aurelia brought him up then.
Well, druids and mages both being sort of clandestine orders, there might have been some bit of back and forth between the two of them. Mousesack, when he would come to visit our shop in Atra, it was a occasion of note. He was a good man, and he showed particular interest in me as a boy. He always remarked on my intelligence and my thirst to learn.
Maybe that's how Aurelia knows you, through Massac.
Yeah. Perhaps. Mousesack has many friends that I remember him telling stories about. He used to talk about how this one occasion at court, he watched a Witcher cure a man. Well, not cure a man of a curse, but well, technically cure a man of. It's a very complicated affair. And Dandelion was there. But Mousesack knew many people. He was a court druid.
I mean this in the best way. Why was he interested in you, though?
I mean, the rest of my siblings at the time. I was the youngest at the time when I met him. My siblings were all droll, in all honesty. I mean, they didn't speak, they just went about their chores, and I was cleaning the shop and I saw him come in and he looked interesting and I talked to him. He encouraged me to leave, to pursue a life beyond cleaning my father's shop.
Well, maybe him and Aurelia are into something. It's far too
I
late
mean,
for
he
this
did give
conversation.
me my name.
He named you.
Well, no, we were talking about plants, which could be used in alchemy and such, and the Acarus calamus. It is a kind of it is a weed that grows in swamps. It's commonly known by the name sway, and we were talking about music and swaying and dancing and Calamus acarus.
You told me that once before. I don't think you remember, though.
I think I was very drunk, but I remember saying it. But yes, no,
Yeah.
I got the name from Mousesack.
Doesn't like magic and naming, isn't that a whole thing? Oh,
I don't know. Probably everything's magic if you try hard enough.
fair enough. No, like, and Rogue like opened his arms like, no, it's I'm far like sleep. We need to sleep.
Yes. We have big few days coming up.
Meet your family.
Precisely so. Calamus will just kind of curl up with Rogue.
Dead to the world immediately.
Immediately. There is silence. But not for you, Ingrid.
Yep.
For you, there are the sounds of the wind and the chirping of nightingales as the sun sets. You hear the snapping of twigs, and the movement of the woods. Meditate. I'd like you to roll me a d10.
Oh, fuck, dice.
They are an important part in the fate of our poor traumatized characters.
Yep, that's for sure. Pink dice, I trust you.
Let them
2.
know that. Yeah, see? Never let them know that you trust them. Traitors, a lot of them.
Conspiracy.
You betrayed me to Gilbert, didn't you?
There are sounds. Muted from within these walls. And it's the silence. It's the muted sounds. The muffle. Puts your mind at ease. And you fall asleep. Where are you, Ingrid?
I think very much in a mind's eye sort of way. Ingrid wakes up, would be where she sat down to meditate, but newer, fresher. Items that have been gone back, rot and mold missing. Those stains from the rubbing on the shield gone.
It's as you say. This place is like new. The rooms are filled. Day breaks. Calamus and Relg emerge. I think that they're not fighting. Debating on who was snoring last night. Cersei and Elodie emerge from the room. Happy. Together. They all greet you.
Ingrid's
Good
a little
morning.
cautious at first. Her brain kind of like trying to put it all together, but I think in that moment, in the kind of same way as how the mind likes to trick itself when you dream, she just falls into it, greeting the two couples, and a smile pulling at her lips, seeing her friends, her chosen family, happy and whole.
It's a good morning. It's relaxing. There's no threat of death or danger. There's no one to save. There's no one to rescue. No artifact that needs hunting. No book that needs protecting. It's just morning. Someone makes breakfast. These things are commonly skipped over in dreams. Food is prepared. You sit, you eat. Once again, you have a small debate with Calamus about what would really be the harm or what really classifies as indulgence, as there is a fine breakfast wine that he knows of. That surely, if it's made for breakfast, wouldn't be debaucherous, would be clean. But no. Eventually he relents. You have your water, your simple meal. That's it. Enjoy your time with your friends. The day continues on. There's things to be done, sure. There's still a little bit of cleaning left to do. But no one leaves. No one goes off to hunt monsters. It's nice. Continue on, and the day just drifts away. At night, you watch the stars. You count the twinkling lights. One by one, friends go back to bed, drifting to sleep. You sit by the fire, knowing that safety is just a few steps away. It's nice, Ingrid. Retirement.
Probably a peace that's filling her in that moment that she's, gosh, like thinking about it, never felt before. In all of her 60 years, there's always, like, if it wasn't the turmoil of her family home from her birth till she was taken at 8, to Witcher training from 9 years, till she went through the trials, and then maybe there is one moment, though, and she's thinking about that as she feels that, when Aaron said the words that stuck with her, that night, probably at Bear Keep, in a similar situation of her watching the stars with him, or he told her that even with them being witchers, that he was sure that he loved her. And then Renwick happened, and then Sintra happened, and then Vizima happened. What happened at Aretuza, Bruges, all the way up until she came back home. And it's then that she's realizing she doesn't remember finishing anything. She doesn't remember how the place became filled once more when she
These
decided to
thoughts,
retire.
Ingrid. All of these things that coalesce and culminate and begin to take you. These thoughts that leave the dream behind. It's gone. All of it. Everything good falls away. The house collapses. The fire dwindles. And one by one the stars blink out. And you are left in darkness.
With one hand, she's pulling Fate. And the next hand, she's going to use Igni to make a light.
Fate is gone. Igni does not come forth.
She's going to close her eyes then and try to fall onto her Witcher training, trying to hear what she can in the sense in the moment that she can't see anything.
No roll required. There is laughter
What direction?
all around. In the darkness, there is his laughter.
You're not really here. You're not really here.
You choose this. You choose me every time. Never have I felt a love more pure. You love misery. You love your trauma. You love to cling to every broken thing that's ever happened to you.
You're wrong.
You could have embraced happiness and joy, and you choose me every time.
You're wrong!
You're mine.
Even if she...
Because you choose to be.
I'll kill you.
Till death do us part, Ingrid.
I'll kill you so that no one ever has to go through this again. And so that I can finally be free of you.
A jealous lover is the purest form. Just you and I doing our dance. Soak yourself in your sadness. Drown in your misery. I will always be here. You are mine. Forever.
Ingrid's gonna start running in the darkness.
You run. There is a single light as you run.
She's gonna continue towards it.
You run past trees, through the grass. Find yourself at the edge of a hill, overlooking a familiar city. Sintra set ablaze. She burns.
Is my sword still gone?
Gaze upon the testament of my affection. Ingrid of Sintra. Ingrid of Hernkaduk. Ingrid of Ingrid. Mine. And you fall, Ingrid. Powerless. No signs, no sword to save you. You fall. And only darkness to catch you. Morning comes for the rest of you.
Elody's still here next to me.
Elody's still there.
She's sleeping.
Fast asleep. Curled up. Can see a bit of drool along where she's laid her head.
Lay there and look at her.
Peaceful. Quiet.
Can I just put aside for a second and just say, Jesus Christ, that dream, Gilbert?
Thursday, do you wake her?
I'll let her sleep.
Understood. Elmas, Ralk, Morning comes. How this happens, who wakes up first, is entirely up to you.
I think Rogue's nightmares would have woke him up pretty early.
Calamus is beside you, sleeping.
Love, are you hungry?
I could eat. I could eat.
I'm starving. Let's get up.
I
Get
ate
food.
yesterday. How are you starving? Callus just kind of nudge him.
Wonder why. The mystery. I need something.
Maybe
Water.
that's the next monster we'll hunt. The belly food thief.
No. There's not enough in my head or my stomach right now. No.
Cook.
Belly, no.
I'm going to. I've been hit with a fit of inspiration. I'm going to write. The tea set is in the cart. Have some tea and
The
hot,
tea set
dry
brought
oats.
in last night.
Oh, I just brought in 1 cup for Ingrid.
Okay.
And, like, Rogue will just get on a shirt and some pants. Like, you can see all of his scars.
You do
As he
this.
walks out and sees who all else is awake to get the tea set.
Ingrid is
and the
asleep
oats.
in front of the door. No one else has emerged from their rooms yet.
So Ingrid is blocking the way out.
Not entirely. Facing the door, I should say.
Rogue's
Keep me
gonna,
awake.
sneak past Ingrid. Feels like we all should get some rest. It's been a rough week. I'd try to carefully open the door and not wake anybody up. And
Easily
get
done.
out of the cart.
Under normal circumstances, I would have a roll. However, Ingrid has partaken in a helpful sleep substance. But you do
Get
this.
the good sleeps.
The good sleeps.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go get everything in, start a fire, and start making breakfast for everybody inside. It will be hot oats. I'm so sorry, everyone.
At the very least, it's simple and there's no rule required. You make hot oats.
Yep.
You can make oatmeal. That's okay.
Well, the specific
You know what? That's fine. That's fine.
specific wording was dry hot oats. Everyone else may have oatmeal, wet hot oats, but Calamus, I believe, must stick to dry hot oats? Question mark. Until
Okay.
directed
Yeah.
otherwise.
Just full on, put some oats in a pan, heat them up, just...
I would like it to be
That's
known that
what you
Ingrid's
want.
initial intent was just foraging for food and foraging for the necessities for survival. Calamus was the one that doubled down on the hot dry oats, and
Most
Ingrid's just like,
unfortunate that
okay.
you must sleep. No corrections here. Relic, you take some hot oats, kind of whisk them around in a pan. It's strange Witcher diet. But you craft breakfast.
Get everything together, drop off Calamus's hot oats.
Are you sure this is what you want to eat?
Ingrid said I had to.
Cause we could.
Actually, do we have any mushrooms? Because Ingrid did say mushrooms were also okay.
You want
Hot dry oats and
Dry
mushrooms. It sounds
and
foul, but fine.
I have to put my lips on yours.
You have to
Love
kiss me.
mushrooms. You love mushrooms.
So calm. You know what? Enjoy your breakfast. I'm gonna see if
Relg, this
So-
is a small detail, but I feel compelled to ask. As someone who has been in a relationship before and lied about like liking a food for years, I have to ask you, do you actually like mushrooms?
So Relg would rather not eat mushrooms because he was stuck in the forest running for his life and had some real bad mushrooms. So like every time there's like a small hesitancy, but he will eat them. It's not a favorite food, but he will eat them.
Understood. Again, small detail. Had
Yeah,
to
no, I
ask.
love mushrooms.
Very
God,
cool.
I better not get poisoned from this. Yeah.
Very cool. Excellent. You craft breakfast. For Calamus specifically, this is mushrooms and hot dry oats.
Dry oats.
I'm fixing
then
this the second I
everyone-
wake up.
And then everyone gets wet hot oats.
I will say, as Relg was cooking, Kelmus has written something very small, and he's rolled it and tied it with a little red string, and on the one end, it's titled on the outside so it can be read without unrolling it. An ode for Elodie, and he will slip it under the door.
Understood. Cersei?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see this. She'll like kind of lift her head and see what was pushed under the door, and she'll like carefully get out of bed.
You do this. You see what Calamus has slipped under.
She'll look at it and smile and sit back down on the bed and just wait for her to wake up. Doesn't want to leave her alone to wake up by herself.
Understood. Eventually, she stirs. She kind of looks up at you. She smiles.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Do you sleep okay?
She nods. She
I
doesn't say
believe this is for
anything.
you.
Go on.
I believe this is for you.
Raises an eyebrow and holds out her hand.
No, hand it to her.
In the moment it is passed between your hands, she slips her hand past it and grabs you and kind of pulls you in back to laying down.
Yeah, I'll curl up and like read it with her.
It was unfurled.
It's a very short poem. It's not very long at all. It just says, "Out of the shadows the morning is breaking. Let your loneliness away, and when you are not strong enough to stand, call out our names and reach out your hands. Let the sun drift in. You'll reach up and rise again."
I
She
think
smiles. Your friend
Percy will
is
tear up.
your friend is musical.
It's a word for it. Talented.
She kind of sets it off to the side and just curls into you.
What would
Takes
you
her
like to
arms.
do today?
She takes her arms and just kind of envelops you.
Mm.
Says, I'm doing it.
Perfect. I'll kiss her.
She kisses you in kind. And kisses your forehead and just holds you for a good long while this morning. Time passes. Relg, you have made breakfast, and do you approach the door where Cersei and Elodie are sleeping?
Yeah, Rogue waits for a little bit, and then he has like the bowls in his hand, and, like knocks on the door with his elbow.
I don't know if you're hungry or not, but I made food. It'll be on the table if you want it. If you're awake and you can hear me, right?
I'll kiss Elodie and I'll get up and open the door.
It's not much, but maybe when we go in to town, we get some more supplies. It's just
Thank you. Good
I didn't
morning.
know if Elodie would like it or not, and then I felt bad like making her something she wouldn't like, and then
What did you make?
just oats. I also have what I made for Ingrid and Cal, which is just the dry hot oats with the mushrooms on top. But I can make you that if you'd prefer
She
that.
kind of makes a face and says, is he practicing for prison?
Of a sort, he's decided he's gonna go on a path, and I'm just trying to be supportive.
Path of, Misley?
Yeah, pretty much, Elodie. I smelled it as I was cooking it, and the two smells together just that. But you know,
I smelled mushrooms.
It just needs a little bit of butter and rosemary and a little bit of salt, and it would be just fine.
Do we
I'm gonna go.
need butter and rosemary?
We do.
I'm not allowed. Calvinus will go get a bowl and like hold it under Ingrid's face and just kind of waft the smell.
She looks to you, Rogue Elodie. I mean, she says, is he turning to be a monk?
Whatever the Witcher equivalent is, yes.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't rightly understand it, but if it makes him safer while he's going through that, I prefer safety over disgust. So,
Your fun makes me very happy and very sad.
It is sad watching him eat hot dried oats.
there's gotta be something else.
I mean,
The
like
camera-
fruit?
The camera pans over to you, Calamus, as you kind of just with your oats and just taking a bite, wafting.
Are you trying to wake Ingrid up like that? Like it's fucking smelling salts? Because that shit will fucking work.
Yeah, he'll take a bite of his bowl, and then he'll hold it under Ingrid's nose and kind of waft it at her, and then take a bite from his bowl.
It's gonna look like this on her face. Like she's already looking uncomfortable, which is something that she's probably never exactly shown when resting before like this. Except for only during her really bad dreams, which not a lot of people have actually seen. Did you just change the music?
Ingrid, amidst the darkness,
Fuck!
ever falling,
Am I gonna
there's
fight a giant
new
mushroom?
sensation. All enveloping, as you hear laughter all around you, there is a new sensation that takes your senses. This foulness takes your nostrils as you smell blend of things.
I
Horrible.
must be I must be falling into the pits of hell. Hell itself.
You think maybe the bone man cometh once more with rotted food to taunt you as you open your eyes, and beneath your nose is hot, dry oats and mushrooms.
There's a... So... She slowly opens her eyes and sees that, and there's a bit of a start. And then she as she gets up part way, and okay, so she drank the whole thing last night, right? The whole thing that was offered, the whole not the whole spare bottle of it. She took the right dosage, but she took all of the right dosage and stuff.
Right.
Even for a Witcher, do I have to roll Witcher training to see how well she's handling the aftermath of that? Or
The dream or the smell?
you know that feeling when you wake up after a trip and not having properly hydrated during it?
No, I'd say your mouth is a bit dry. It's not exactly... So, the fun thing about hallucinogen, there's not really, especially with the dose you took, it's kind of just waking up. You don't feel groggy, really. You just were in a deeper sleep.
Okay. That's good to know. She does wake up with a little bit of a start because of the context of the dream, and then she just narrows her eyes at the bowl and does a good morning.
Hot
What
dry
is
oats
this?
and mushrooms, our Witcher's favorite meal. Hot dry oats and mushrooms, it's a thing to make you feel.
Calamus, we need to have a talk. A
About-
real talk.
About
now.
what? It's
You
first
do
thing in the
know-
morning.
You do know that I never actually told you that you had to eat hot dry oats. You assumed that.
I said, and I quote, so I have to drink water and eat hot dry oats and mushrooms. And you said something. Hold on, let me get into your character. Something like that.
Yes, that was meant to be a joke. Do I not do my...
You don't joke like ever, though. How was I supposed to know?
I was trying to scare you out of wanting to be a Witcher. I thought that would do it, giving a lot of your luxuries. You do have to be on a diet, but it's just foraging. You could go out and hunt animal. You could go out and...
Can I hunt a stick of butter and some rosemary?
Ingrid's just gonna get up.
That was a legitimate question.
Cersei, as you watch this, a smile on your face, Relk, you can feel the same. Everyone's kind of enjoying this moment, including Elodie, standing in the doorway, not quite fully dressed, just kind of the tunic draped. But she's smiling. Just watching this interaction.
Calamus, I will give you a choice. Wine or butter. We'll add one
Oh,
to your diet.
you
must choose one.
You are truly the scourge of my existence. Butter or wine? Yes, would you like to die now or 30 minutes ago? That's the question you're asking me.
Alright, you are obviously hungry, so Ralph will
He's just
switch
shoveling
bowls.
these oats, and now he's like, no! He smacks his hand on it. This is a test. This is a fucking test. I know this is a test. Just eat.
Ingrid is looking at Relg now, and she's just like, I did tell him that he could eat what he could eat, as long as it wasn't excessive. Just forage for your food. Just learn to forage for your food. That is the whole point.
You said no quail eggs. Just.
So good morning, Cersei, Elodie.
Good morning.
Elodie's kind of covering her mouth with a smile. Good morning.
Ingrid's eyes are gonna look to Cersei and Elodie, and she's gonna say, "Good morning." Though her eyes are still struggling to meet Elodie's, but remembering the night before, the what, like, even given everything, the intensity of a dream can stick with somebody. So I'm thinking in this moment, she's still fully remembering a lot of the flashes of what she saw and heard. I think in the moment, though, she's going to say, "You're looking better, Elodie."
Equated to the company of good people and the smell of mushrooms and hot dry oats.
I feel like I have taken this joke way too far.
They're delicious.
With
So
that,
maybe we go into town for supplies such as butter.
Or we train Calamus how to hunt properly.
I think he has earned some butter.
Or we could get some wine. I haven't made my decision yet.
Ingrid
With
just
that
looking-
firmly in mind, a decision having to be made, we will cut over to our break. No rush, Calamus. But we will be back very, very shortly. We'll see you all very soon. Let's begin again. We join our heroes this morning, and we're going to cut into some sort of time dilation nonsense where we kind of just ease into their downtime. So, we have discussed the fact that you guys are kind of just here, and you guys can choose to try to stay here as long as you like. Friends, heroes, what have you decided? How long would you like to attempt to stay here?
I think that was the one conversation we
That's
didn't
the
have.
only conversation we didn't have. We talked about branding, and we didn't bring up winter or spring either, but we could have. So 2 weeks? 2 weeks? 2
Am
weeks.
I missing
2 to
something
3.
with the winter talk? Because I
2
don't.
or 3
Um,
weeks.
Calamus just needs 4 days, so 2 weeks sounds fine.
Enough time for Elodie to get better, and some time in a very private place where Rel can have a breakdown while Cersei does magic.
But we
I-
gotta do
In a safe space.
Yeah.
We got this. We are gay. We are happy.
See?
The world is our bitch.
Perfect.
I forgot what I was going to say. There was something I was going to say.
I was going to ask you
What
what
was
you
I
were going
gonna
to
say?
say.
I literally can't remember now.
The amount of time we need to be here.
Oh no, Cersei, how long does it take you to learn Standing Portal?
3 weeks.
I think we should stay for 3 weeks.
3 weeks. 3 weeks.
I can learn.
I
Standing
don't
Portal in 3
like the
weeks.
eyebrow raise that just happened. Gilbert, I need you to.
Are you okay
2
with that,
weeks.
Cersei?
Safe?
Like I don't want to like let me make it clear. I'm not trying to bogart your XP or IP. If you want to put it in something else, that's fine. But I just remember us talking about Standing Portal at one point, so I want to make sure we do have enough time. We're not like, oh wait.
I
after that.
just feel like the world is gonna turn before I can learn it.
The world
And
is
that's the-
going to turn?
You know, things are gonna happen.
Oh,
The world's
God.
not waiting for us.
Could you
Right.
could you imagine how easy that would make travel?
Then we would need
it's
pretty
one
good.
extra week. It's one
We
extra
wouldn't-
week.
We would need pretty good if we had Standing Portal.
We still would.
And can Aurelia can make the big portal. Can I make the big portal?
I made a
Yeah.
mistake, and I'm not gonna. That's just an Aurelia thing. I'm so sorry to basically to give you the fighting game equivalent of when you beat a boss and they're fucking super nerfed when you unlock them as a playable character, but that's kind of what's happening. Here. I'm
Wow.
so sorry.
So what you're telling me is Aurelia knows Aurelia's standing gate.
Kind of. I'm so sorry.
You just
That's
Shao
like
Kahn
gatekeep
us.
girl boss. Aurelia.
I just Shao Kahned you. Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Did.
Whenever I first had her do the standing portal, I didn't read how big it was. I was just like, fuck it, it's a big ass portal. They need to get somewhere. Let's yeet the cart through it. And then thought, there'll be no repercussions. She'll never come up again, but she has. So here we are.
Gotcha. I still think
Alright.
it would be good to know, just because, like, especially if we're trying to like get somewhere very specifically, very fast as like just a party, and we can come back to where pretty good and the cart are. Like for instance, like if we wanted to go visit Calamus's family too, like this is not like saying this is how we're gonna do it, but just from my mind's eye, like we could use standing portal to teleport us while leaving pretty good in the cart here at Ingrid's home and stuff. Just giving an instance of how of where this would come in handy.
I'm not opposed to learning the spell. I just don't feel like I'm gonna learn it by the time things happen. That's all I'm saying.
How about this? We stay for 1 3/4 weeks, a fortnight,
A
check
fortnight.
in with the world using the
Fortnite?
small
Literally?
portal. Literally. And then if it seems like things aren't terrible, another week and a half.
How much more hydromancy materials do we have?
I think I have 1 or 2 more uses.
Okay.
It's a 2-day ride to Atra and a 2-day ride back. And that's the first thing on Cal's list. We don't all have to go.
I'd be down to go. I want to meet the person and see what meet the family and all that.
I gotta see what Elodie's feeling up to.
Oh yeah, that's true.
My woman needs some lovin's.
I know the only thing I want to like
True.
really accomplish right now is having a conversation with Elodie.
I just want to learn a spell and show Relg that magic isn't scary.
Okay.
Set me on fire.
So
Okay.
it sounds
Baby steps.
like 3 weeks.
I vote 3 weeks.
I need an enthusiastic yes from everybody.
Fuck yeah.
Fair.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? We're
Hell
doing
yeah.
it.
We're doing it. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
And
Come on,
thus
Luna,
the
join the hell
compact
yeah.
is sealed.
Fuck.
So, we'll take this not exactly day by day, but we'll go scattered a bit throughout, week by week. We're just going to highlight things that happened in the first week here. Your first week, know that the first thing that was mentioned before downtime was visiting Calamus's family. Is that the plan immediately following this morning that we had left you all on? Or do you take a few
After that.
days?
After the hot dry oats and mushrooms waking up and night from the nightmares?
Yeah, Relk has nightmares every night. It's just another Tuesday.
Fucking
Jesus
same, right?
Christ.
Yeah, it's at least Calamus's plan to leave the day of the hot dry oats conversation.
Would you all like to join?
In this moment, Ingrid will go. Yeah.
I'll ask Elodie what she wants to do. Because I don't want to leave her alone.
Elodie doesn't feel... Especially having... We'll forego the conversation, because we've had this conversation about how many family members Calamus has, and the age group is varied, but it's... She doesn't feel comfortable around large swaths of people.
Ingrid will
Really fair.
let Cersei and Elodie have the run of the place if they want it while we're gone.
I can peek in and teleport for like dinner.
Elodie would encourage you to travel with your friends. She's safe. She's okay.
Ingrid's only stipulation would be please make sure Pretty Good doesn't die.
She'll tend
We're
to pretty
taking
good.
pretty good.
That's correct. You guys
'Cause-
are taking the card.
Yeah.
Oh right, we are taking Pretty Good, aren't we? I forgot. Yeah.
It's gonna be a much longer time there and back if we don't take pretty good in the cart.
We'll be walking.
That's true. That's true.
We'll
I
fit it.
would walk.
We'll call an Uber.
Ye old
Yes.
Uber.
Ye old
So-
Uber.
I got it. Cersei's gonna go, but I'm gonna be teleporting.
Mm-hmm. Never camping again.
Never camping again.
So you're gonna wait. You're gonna be like, okay, how long is it gonna take you exactly to get there? I'm gonna stay here until then, and then.
No, I have to travel with y'all, so I know the location.
Mhm.
Oh, gotcha.
I can tell you exactly where my dad's shop is.
Would that work? if you
Maybe
pointed
we
on a
don't
map?
pop up in the middle of the
That's
alchemist shop
fair.
with magic. Maybe we do it.
Oh
a little
no,
bit
my
more
dad would think it was.
secretively.
My dad would think it was great.
I'm also looking at the grin on Gilbert's face as he's listening to this, and I'm not sure that's a good idea.
Well, I'll say this: it's the exact location will help. You would still need to perform hydromancy. The safer option is definitely to travel with them
Yeah,
and then just kind of teleport back.
yeah, that's what I'll do. Check on her at night.
Understood. Do this.
Yeah, exactly.
You all travel. And since we're taking this sort of week by week, I know that one of you wanted to have a conversation. It's kind of in the sense right now, currently, one of you is going to have to wait. But are there any pertinent conversations that take place along the road?
I think Cersei would take the time to sit with Relg and be like, okay, this is how magic without fire.
Ingrid probably just hears the magic and then without fire and then just goes, oh.
Oh no, and Rogue would be like, okay, all right, without fire, we're good. We're good.
We won't, I'll ask you this, Cersei. What do you show Relg without fire?
I think Cersei would I wanted to learn telepathy or telekinesis. So I would start learning that, and I would just be floating objects around and like handing him or like floating a ball or a pear like Anakin. A pear.
You would like to
Over to-
start learning telekinesis?
Yes, it takes 4 days.
Okay. There's nothing in the rules, I believe, that requires you to learn one spell at a time. But let me double
think so.
check.
What page is in the book are journeyman spells located on?
You're
Or, like,
looking
how-
for advanced signs?
Well, advanced sign learning is the same as journeyman spell learning.
Oh, that would be
Common
would
rules
be
doc.
20
It's in there
IP.
too.
Oh, it is another? Okay. There we
20
go.
IP 1 week.
Perfect. I'm going to, like, just adding on to my thing really quick. I'm gonna learn the advanced Quen.
So again, there's nothing in the double checked. There's nothing in the rules that states that you need to like learn one spell at a time. I will ask you what your source is for telekinesis.
I have a scroll of telekinesis, and the Darkhold has standing portal.
Excellent. Perfect. You have all the ingredients then.
So Cersei would like show Relg the scroll and kind of read from it, and then be like, okay, this is easy, and start like just trying to make things float, hand him off things.
Relg, reading through the scroll, as well alongside Cersei, I want you to roll me either intelligence education or will and spellcasting. And as a note,
Either
remember
way-
you have your luck.
Oh yes, all three. Okay, you know what? All three. I'm putting all of them, and I'll save my necklace luck for the next time. Okay, I'm stalling this once. 11
11.
plus 3, 14. Yes.
14.
14.
So, it's a bit difficult to comprehend. There's some. It's not the sense that you don't have the verbiage for it. It's the way they word things. This is very complex. But you pick up things here and there, and you read, and the notion of magic is beyond you, as far as we know. There's just things you can't do, but the way it tells you to maneuver your hands, the breakdown of what's happening with chaos and gravity, the science of it all, really tentatively makes sense. There are, of course, things that are just kind of a mystery. You kind of just have to equate it to, that's magic. I don't understand that portion, but I understand this. And it helps. Understanding something helps. You sit with Cersei as she practices, passing a pear back, forth. Yours more of a lob. Hers more elegant, sort of drifting, wobbling a bit, but still. And it helps you understand what's happening here. It's movement through space and time. It helps.
And
So-
another.
So with chaos, it's a one source, and it's just how you use it.
Yes. It is, as it's named, incredibly chaotic. It takes discipline and practice and mastery to control it.
In a sense, Relg, it's no different than people, or training an animal, or rerouting a river. Yes, this is something great and difficult to do, but it takes patience, it takes discipline, and you just need to have a gentle hand to guide it, to push it, to maneuver it, and it makes some semblance of sense.
Thank you, Cersei.
Of course. And I wanted to ask you, do you have, like, pain anywhere?
Feel much, actually, from like here down. There's nothing there.
I see. I was going to, if you would allow me, some magic can also mend. I can't fix your scars, but I can make you feel good.
I'd rather keep them. Don't remember what she did, but I think it'd help if I could feel it. If that's
Yeah.
possible.
Yes. Let's see. Now we'll just use magic healing. Just along Relg's back.
Don't believe magic healing really requires a roll, if I'm correct.
Just roll for the rounds you're healing. But I'm like doing it steady.
I'd like you to roll spellcasting just for me.
Uh, 22.
22. Relg, am I safe to say that you've never been healed like this in this
No,
specific
not
area?
at all.
This isn't an area you usually allow people to touch. If I remember correctly, one of your first interactions with Ingrid, in the bathhouse, she had reached out and you asked her to stop. But Cersei touches you here. And there's a wave, not really of warmth. It's a bit uncomfortable. It's not startling, it's just strange. It feels as if something is massaging you. Deep tissue. And pulling and sort of working through your skin. Takes a second. Doesn't feel the same. There's an ache. There's an ache. Your nerve
Reach.
endings have, some of them at least, have reattached, and through this, there's feeling. At least it's muted, and it's not complete, but there's feeling.
Raug's gonna look at Cersei with like complete awe as he's touching his face and around his back. And then he's gonna scramble out of the car. Who's driving? This is important.
I would
okay.
assume.
So pulls open the mid door and like reaches out and grabs Cal's hands and puts them on his face and on his his shoulder and neck.
Are you all?
I can feel it. I can feel it. Oh my god, I can feel it.
That's wonderful, darling.
Did something. Well, I actually no. I have I been able to hear like most of the conversation.
I would say with the rumble of the road and with the quietness of it, probably not really, no.
Okay. Well, what happened?
Cersei.
And just Rogue turns around and throws his arms around Cersei.
She'll catch him and hug him real tight.
Thank you.
Ingrid
We can
smiles.
keep doing this whenever you like.
Relg, she hugs you, and you feel it. Arms over your shoulders. Perhaps underneath your arms, coming up, touching the back. You feel it. It's muted. It's not like you feel things with your hands, but it's there.
Yeah, no, whenever you feel like it, we can.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Anytime.
She is very good at that. She has healed my hands from my fire incident
Several times.
several times. They've come back out baby smooth, not this time, but this is because Cersei didn't do this one this time, but it's still just as good.
Think Sister Invalia did just a perfectly fine job, Ingrid.
Yes, she did.
I'm sorry, I don't know why I defended her in this moment. That it just felt right.
You know what? It is all right. It was a little surprising, but it is all
Save us
right.
cake. We put honor on her name.
Excellent.
I do want that. Calmus, remembering that he didn't get to eat the cake, is now frustrated again as they try.
Would
Your
you
ride
like me to
continues.
roll my
I would.
learning checks?
I would like you to roll. So how many does it take to learn telekinesis?
It's the wrong tab. 2.
I would
2
like
checks
you to
on 4
roll
days.
the first one for telekinesis.
Jesus. 29.
29. And with this, again, learning DC is 14. Your base is higher. I just need to know really ones, fumbles.
Mm-hmm.
Your ride continues. Is there anything else pertinent that happens along the road?
I probably can't practice to learn the advanced active shield Quen sign while driving, can I?
Not
If
only
you
that,
let
would need a
me
source.
drive.
Huh?
You would need a source.
Oh, need a source? Got you.
Much like the magic of mages and priests, you need a scroll or a diagram or a teacher.
Got you. Okay, so I can't just keep training with Quen until it works.
Can't let Cal drive.
Would
For
would
safety.
Cersei's book for safety? Would Cersei's book have anything on signs, since signs are considered minor magic?
It doesn't.
It doesn't have
Gotcha.
signs.
No, if we can't do it, that's it. I can't think of a.
I would. So verbatim from the book, it says step 1 is to find someone who or something to teach you the spell, hex, ritual you want to learn. It can be another mage, priest, or a tome of some sort. I would, under certain pretenses, allow Cersei to teach you if she had anything that was related or something similar to Quen, but I don't believe you do.
No. Yeah, no.
All the more reason to return to Aaron Kaduk.
Yep.
Yes, indeed.
Yep.
The only
Oh.
thing I have left for travel is just every night I check in, I teleport to Elodie, and then I teleport back the next morning.
You do this. Do you? They know you're doing this. I believe your friends.
Yeah,
Do you bid them farewell? Do you
of course.
make a goodbye and be safe and all that?
She
Yeah,
was
of
like,
course. I'll say good. Exactly. I'll say good night and say I'll be up before the sunrise. I'll be back before the sun rises, and yeah.
Understood.
Full on Homer Simpsons into the forest.
Right.
be safe.
Calamus, do you do the wink? I have to ask again, a minuscule detail that is very important to me personally.
Yes.
Cersei, your bid farewell with a wink from Calamus.
Bardic Inspiration. Wait, wrong game. Shit.
It works. You do this, Cersei, and you return to her each night. This first night, though, is very special. She was just sitting by the fire. She's cleaned a bit to occupy her time, and a lot. It's interesting. She's occupying her time. She's likely using vampiric speed and kind of just keeping busy. Return to her, and she just smiles at you.
I'd come back.
I like this magic.
More up my sleeve.
She doesn't speak, just holds you, and you know that she's hopeful she will never have to spend another night without you.
That's the goal.
And as night falls, you fall asleep in each other's arms. Calamus, Ingrid, and Rilg, is there anything pertinent that you do while the stuffy old mama witch is away? Does the party really kick off now?
The wine mom's gone.
Oh my god.
The
Calamus-
leashes are gone.
No, the leashes are always here.
Oh my god.
But no, Calamus did promise Nuala and what was his name? Not Regis. Even though I know I need to address my letters to Nuala to Regis. Did promise the Elderman of Bruges, Friedrich Kerman, that he would write. So I think that Calamus just spends the evenings penning letters, Just send one off for Sister Invalia as well.
Understood. You do this. And it is, don't like revealing too much of what goes on behind the screen, but I will say it is good that you do this. As you travel, Cersei, every night you spend with Elodie,
Yes.
it only
I have
takes...
one.
Mm-hmm. Go on.
I wanted to talk to her about the ring and moon dust bombs. Did you want me to do that now, or we could do it later?
It's entirely up to you.
Oh, it's a lot of pressure. Okay.
You get 3 weeks, surely.
But yeah, no, we got time. I don't gotta talk business right now. Just enjoy each other's company.
Okay. Excellent.
Also, happy International GM's Day, apparently.
I was waiting for the end to bring it up.
Huh?
I was
just-
waiting for the end.
Did you say anything to me about this?
No,
Because
I
I didn't fucking know. Because I just looked at my Twitter for a second
Just
and
that
somebody just
far-flung telepathy, just like,
Come here, Gilbert. Let me give you a kiss.
So, you all take time. Cersei, it only takes 4 days to learn telekinesis. On the 3rd day, I'd like your second check, please.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you have to like roll a 1 to fail?
Yes. 23.
So not a 1.
Not a 1. It's 3.
Very interesting. You may add telekinesis to your repertoire, as I'm imagining the one night with Relic passing a pair back and forth doesn't just take place in the one night. Perhaps you guys
Yeah.
train, practice. Relic, you become more comfortable. Again, it's you know more about this now, and it's just unfortunately the mages around you that you had met up to this point let chaos roam free. But Cersei has kept it on a tight leash. It is calm. It is peaceful in her hands. It's nice.
Ingrid, curious, will probably say, "Can you move my sword too?"
Cersei?
What can I lift? Let me get back to you on that.
Ingrid just tosses the
Weight
sword.
limit.
I'm kidding.
What's the weight limit of this spell?
What about me? Can you move me?
Stop
dear.
with the self-sacrifice, Cal.
The up to 5 encumbrance per 1 point of spell casting.
Yes. So,
Would you like to try to move the
yes,
sword?
Yeah, I'll see if I could unsheath it
Go for it.
with my mind.
Unsheath it and accidentally drop it on Ingrid. Whoops.
How heavy is the sword?
Let me open up my. Oh, right, it's in Chrome. Here in inventory, fate. Its encumbrance is 4.
Oh. Okay. I rolled a 24, so yes, I can lift the sword.
There is also, I would like to point out on page 103 in the core book, a section on fine telekinesis, Cersei. Any skill-based tasks you try to perform with telekinesis, such as tripping a foe, maneuvering something through an obstacle course, or God help you swinging a sword, it uses your will and spellcasting at a -3.
Yep. And if I try to throw something, I use the will stat instead of body.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Ingrid, Cersei lifts your sword without her hands and with relative ease.
Fascinating. So if we have another situation like with what happened in Bruges, you could pick up my sword and throw it at me to catch.
Yes.
Perfect.
Barring imminent impalement.
I am good at catch.
That does not
Rachel.
mean sword is good at catch.
somebody clip that.
We'll get it in. We'll get it in post.
I mean, technically it depends
Oh.
on how you define catch, because
Imminent impalement.
I just picture
sword's
the
ready,
same
bitch.
voice you gave the rat, just like, sword is very good at catch.
The sword is very good at the catch.
I never miss.
Is that Fate's voice just now?
You
So-
have awoken me with telekinesis.
Oh, Ingrid touches the cursed sword. Okay, I'm sorry.
10,000 rats in Transylvania feel their call. Um,
Oh, let's just have him crash and wave on Heron Kaduk.
oh man. So 4 days pass. Calamus, we arrive at your home. Take narrative control.
Yeah, so Atra is a decent sized city. In a time very, very, very long ago, the city-state of Atra actually fought Sintra for control of the country. So it is old. It is every bit as old as Sintra, but it hasn't fared as well under Nilfgaardian occupation as Sintra has. It looks like the streets are not being maintained well, if at all. It's a little grungy, but it's also a little bit more agrarian than Sintra. There's a lot of like farms that butt up right against the edge of the town. There's no big giant stone wall around the entire city. It's, you know, wooden battlements and guard towers and things of that nature. Calamus's home in particular is sort of a few streets off of the city center of Atra. There is a sign that hangs above the door that looks just like a bubbling potion bottle. And the name of the store is Bowen Bow Out.
That's so cute. Cersei will audibly say that.
I imagine, since Calamus's younger sister still lives at home, because she hasn't been married yet, there's just the meanest, scruffiest, old, one-eyed gray cat sitting on the porch.
I love
It is the most unfriendly looking cat. Just looking. There's an air of arrogance to every cat, as if they are king or queen or emperor of this world and you are lucky to be in their presence. This cat looks disgusted that you are even approaching it.
Can I pet the cat, Calamus?
I'm not going to stop you, but you're going
She's
to
gonna
get
walk up and
scratched.
start-
All right.
She's going to start walking up and attempt to, very carefully, very cautiously, maybe with some of her Witcher training, try to approach it. And first of all, obviously, show her hand.
Hold
There's
on.
a
Is there a
deep-
cat handling portion of Witcher training?
There's a
I'm pretty
deep
sure cats hate witchers.
There's a
Oh,
deep
right.
Not an actual cat though.
gurgling within its body. That sort of, not hiss just yet, but it's that sort of yowling, that strange sound that cats make. It's like deep within their throat that sort of gurgles. It's almost like a growl.
You're
That's-
a very handsome cat.
Yes, that is old Mortimer, and we should just go inside.
Okay. Ingrid actually looks sad that she
It
couldn't pet the
hisses.
cat.
Old Mortimer is actually the son of young Mortimer. It's a whole thing.
Do you have more cats inside?
No, I think young Mortimer met an owl in battle a few years
Oh.
ago, and it was a mess.
Calamus, as you pass old Mortimer lays on his side and kind of leans up, kind of like just inviting you to pet the belly. You know this trick.
This feels like a trap.
You've tricked me for the last time, old Mortimer.
It's one good
looks
eye.
so
It just kind of
sweet,
looks
though.
up at you and is just like it. You know this trick, but it's you recognize that like it's putting on. You can definitely see that it's this cat has so much personality. It's putting on like the cute face. It's to the best of its ability. Its one eye kind of glistens in the sun.
That
Relk
thing's-
feels so bad and is just like gonna reach out to try and
Relk, no! No!
What
Give
is
me a
what is
dodge
the
roll,
what is the
Rogue.
problem?
face.
Why does Rug need a dodge roll? The cat is obviously friendly.
So Mortimer is a
Is it-
monster.
Is it Dex and Dodge?
Yes,
Okay,
please.
real
Okay.
talk. While this roll is happening, my cat
17.
does that, but loves the belly rubs. I'm not even kidding. There is no trap in that for my cat Sora.
17.
17. Interesting.
Watch old Mortimer beat Rogues.
Actually, hold on. I
Death
don't
by
know.
cat.
Oh my
Not
god!
the way that Rogue thought he was gonna be killed. But kind of close.
We're gonna get TPK'd by this cat.
Old Mortimer's got a reputation to uphold.
You said 14?
17.
17. Okay. Yeah, the cat like almost just very quickly just flips on its paws and starts to like hiss and then gives one good scratch. It doesn't hit you. It's very
Whoa.
close. You can feel the wind as it kind of arches its back and just looks pissed.
That cat is a spawn of the devil.
Are you sure it was an owl and not old Mortimer about young Mortimer?
Oh, I have no idea. You'd have to ask my sister. She,
Even
Speaking
as a
of-
witcher, I have never seen something so cute be so maniacal. It is
As
sad.
you're having this conversation, Calamus, you recognize the voice of your sister coming out, calling out to old Mortimer. What in the hell is going? Who's bothering? She looks at all of you.
Hello, Minthy.
Lloyd.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it's me. It's good to be home. Where, Mom and Dad are home. Yes.
They're both home. Welcome home. You've brought friends.
Hello.
Yes.
I'm real
uh,
sorry. I didn't mean to upset the cat. He looked like he was sad, and then
He's an.
He's okay. She picks him up, and Calamus, he looks. He's still pissed. He doesn't like anybody, but he's just kind of tolerating this. He's just. Yeah, she picks him and just kind of scratches his ears. He's just he's just scared of strangers, that's all.
I'm not a stranger, and he tried the belly trick on me. He
would never. He
literal-
just wanted belly rubs.
He's a murderer.
What
Allegedly.
murderer?
Everyone, Minthy, these are my friends. This, Ingrid. Lady Ingrid of Sintra.
Lady Ingrid.
She's a knight, so
Yes.
best behavior, please. My estimable businesswoman friend, Cersei Aveline.
Charmed.
Businesswoman friend. To meet you.
Okay, this is not that.
Right.
And my boyfriend, Relg.
Oh, 2 for the price of 1. How lucky for your travels.
Not like that.
well, it's nice to meet you, Minty. And Rogue's gonna kind of hold out a hand away from the cat.
She gently sets old Mortimer down, who kind of like just doesn't run, but kind of just like trots away. She takes your hand. It's a pleasure to meet you.
First time that cat scratched me, he blended flawlessly in with a bale of rotting hay and jumped out directly at my face.
You give him far too much credit. He smells your fear.
He invokes fear should be a problem, Minthy.
He cuddles with you at night.
Don't believe you.
He
Is-
does.
Is
Can't argue
is
with that.
Yoren home?
Yoren is home. He's in the back training.
What is going on with him?
I don't know. He's got it in his mind he's going to be the savior of this war.
He's a 15-year-old boy. All right.
Which makes him impossible to fucking talk to.
We'll see. Tell me Tarine's not here.
She is. You've come at an interesting
Is everyone
day.
home? Is everyone home?
Nearly, yes. I don't believe Marina is home just yet. She's out fetching groceries.
She's not married yet? She's 44.
Difficult to say. She's here a lot more. It feels like she's here more than she is at her own home. So unhappy wedding, I suppose.
Horrible. Oh, all right. I love you. I need to talk to Ma and Da before I talk to Jordan because he's going to hate me after today.
Seems like he hates everyone nowadays, but that's fine.
He's 15. He's a 15-year-old boy.
You didn't hate everyone when you were 15.
I left when I was 15.
Okay, you hated your family when you were 15.
Oh, right, Minty. I love you.
It's
Kiss
good
her on
to see
both
you.
cheeks.
She kisses you on both cheeks.
And head into the shop, which is... It's definitely formatted in the way that things used to be, is that the bottom floor is a shop, and above that is the home. It is Spartan in the way that it's not very, like, highly decorated, but a meticulous borderline hyperfixation on categorization and organization of alchemical ingredients, products, even rudimentary alchemical tools that one could buy if one was looking into making medicines for themselves at home. All of this has been meticulously and with great scrutiny organized around the shop. Everything has labels, everything is color-coded by the wax on top of the cork, etc., etc.
So we could feasibly restock here for some of my Witcher stuff.
Yes, of course. My father would be very happy to have your patronage.
As you walk in, there is an addition here, a new addition. Perhaps the old one has worn at this point, Calamus. The slightly smaller sound of a bell. It hits the door as it opens. Chimes. You can hear the voice of your father. Or we'll call him that for the time being. As he calls out, not quite as jovial as you've seen innkeepers or other shopkeepers. He calls out, "Welcome to Bow In, Bow Out. We're right with you."
It's still such a cute name.
What does it mean?
Our surname is Bowen. Bow in, bow out.
Play
It's
on
a-
words.
Oh.
Cersei, do you think
I
we could
see.
organize the cart like this?
What?
Do you think we could organize the cart like this? I
Is
like
it
it.
not? Is it not already clean and organized?
I think
From
we hit a
around.
bump. I think we hit a bump.
We
From
did
around the
hit
corner
a bump.
emerges your father. Take the out of control, Calamus.
Michelle Bowen turns 70 years old this year, and it certainly shows. His facial hair is trimmed, but deeply, deeply gray. The sort of whiteness hasn't truly come in because he was very dark of hair as a younger man. He's got that sort of... the pate of his head is showing where his hair is thinning and coming to a peak in the front. He has very sort of homely utilitarian clothing that he wears. I think to Calamus's surprise, he started walking with a cane recently. Just movement is starting to become difficult with the current state of things. And there certainly is some amount of family resemblance between Calamus and his father, Michel. And I think just seeing him come around the edge of the counter, sort of with this cane, Calamus will just smile. It's been a few years, da.
He comes emerging, spouting about how you're lucky they've just restocked and they have everything that you could desire and more. It is cut short as he rounds the corner, and again, yes, the cane is a surprise, as is the sort of... It's not a full hunch. There's not a full dip in posture, but he's definitely slouched a bit. Looks at you. Wait.
Da.
Welcome home. Come here, come
Very-
here. He tries to kind of hobble over to you as quick as he can, and brings
Calamus
you
will
into
wrap
a
his arms
deep
around
walk.
him. Da, there are some people that you need to meet, people that would like to spend some coin today.
Oh, of course. I just... He kind of reaches up and pats your shoulder and just... I'm sorry, you've caught me at an interesting moment, a family reunion. To what do I owe the pleasure, and what can I suit you with?
Well, Da, these are my traveling companions and
We're
my
his friends.
boyfriend.
Pleasure to meet you, sir. And just hand out, like...
He takes a look at you, Relg, and there's a brief moment of assessment as he kind of looks you up and down, and then takes your hand and shakes it once, real small, and then twice, and then kind of pulls you in for a hug. Welcome to Bow In, Bow Out. I'm sorry. I've been told I'm overly affectionate.
Well,
At times.
my name's Relg, the Ingrid. Oh, sir,
Relg.
fine, thanks.
Oh,
So-
Da! Ingrid is... And he'll look around, make sure nobody's lingering outside the shop windows. Ingrid is a knight of Sintra.
My
Well-
word.
In so many words, but I do have the official title for whatever it's worth.
It's
hi.
been
Just worth...
many a moon since I've equipped a knight.
And being a knight of Sintra will always mean something in this house.
In this house, it means 25% off, and on top of the family discount, that you're going to be practically robbing me. But I'm happy to do it.
Papa, Cersei, is a student at Aretusa.
Aretusa, I had just had a shipment passed off that... Oh, you have such interesting traveling companions, my boy. He kind of gives a deeper bow. You can see he places the cane at his left as he dips with his right. He shakes a bit, and there's a moment where you think he might tip, but he,
You
No need.
don't
With a
need to bow.
flourish of his left hand, kind of just balancing on the cane. You can kind of see where, well, in a sense, you can kind of see where Kalmus gets it. The flair a little bit. And he says, "It is an honor to provide service for you all. A knight, a mage, and..." kind of gives a wink over you to Calamus as he's still kind of bowed. Perhaps a new son-in-law?
We'll get there, Papa. Where's Ma?
She's upstairs preparing lunch. Shall I alert you or alert her?
Oh,
of,
no. No, I'll go up, but I have to be honest, I'm here to see Yoren. I talked to Wilhane on the road to Sintra.
Ready to Wilhane. I'm glad you did. Well, there's no reason why I still can't be happy tidings. The boy is stubborn.
I understand. I'll just go speak to Ma very quickly, and I know that we are looking for a few certain items. And actually, if you would do me the honor, Father, I think I have the opportunity for you to work with an alchemical reagent you've never worked with.
Lloyd, my dear boy, that's quite a claim.
Are we isolated here now? Like just us? What he means, and I think that we can be just clear about it because it's not unheard of. I am not just a Knight of Sintra, but I am also a Witcher. And if I'm not mistaken, the ingredient that you're speaking of is the mutagen that we got, correct?
Indeed.
Mutagen. I admit it has been a rare occasion that I've been able to work with such things, but I'll see what I can do.
It is a pleasure to meet someone such as you, who knows of such things.
I think
Ingrid?
between the three of us, we might be able to make something truly special.
That is very true.
Ingrid, as a note, just as a point of interest, he didn't seem surprised. Sure, Witcher. He doesn't react the way that some people do, where they kind of withdraw or they kind of take a step back, either physically or emotionally. But he's just water off his back.
I love this man. Ingrid will note that. She's not going to do anything in the moment, but honestly, she's not surprised that somebody would clock her as a Witcher, given the eyes and the medallion. But yeah.
Well, you go say hi to Ma, and I'll take care of your friends.
Relk, would you come with me?
Yeah, of course. Though part of the things we need, and Rogue's gonna pull out a couple of the bottles he spilled over that were in his jacket. Be like, oh, we definitely need these ingredients. I'm so sorry, Cersei.
He kind of looks it over and says, "I have just the things. Yes, of course.
Thanks,
Come
sir.
back down whenever you've met the missus, and we can discuss a great many deal of things."
Thanks, sir.
You
Which
don't have
way?
to call me sir. Dad is just fine. Or Michelle,
Oh,
if
right.
you're
Okay.
comfortable.
Thank you, Pop. And he'll take Relg up the reclaimed wrought iron stairs that go into the upstairs. Where they, at the top of the stairs, they pass the door frame that has notches for all of the growth of all of the children up to this point. Annotated with their years. The oldest marks from Calamus's eldest sister, Sarah, stop about 30 years ago. And all the way to fresh ones from Yoren that are probably only a few weeks old. As they move through this home above that is certainly not people of great means, but it is decorated with the love and attention that come from having such a large and loving family live in it for so long.
I'll interrupt you for just a moment, Calamus. There are new additions to the decorations. Framed, and likely sealed in some sort of clear wax, making it difficult to read. are some of your letters.
Good. As they kind of pass through the hallways and into the kitchen, Serena Bowen, Lloyd's mother, will be turning 62 this year. Her hair has maintained its color, though there are starting to be little spindly gray hairs that are coming through. It's a very rich brown with highlights of a sort of honey gold that run through it. That looks very much like Lloyd's own hair. She's tall and thin in the same way that Lloyd is, and she wears a very plain red cloth dress with a white apron. Her hair's messy, and there's sort of a clamp holding it up, and she has her sleeves pushed up to her elbows, even though she hates that it makes for permanent wrinkles over time. And I imagine she's probably making some sort of stewed lamb.
You're not wrong. She's
Lloyd will
chopping some of the vegetables as you enter.
Lloyd will just knock on the door frame. Mama.
She, quicker than your father, kind of looks up and just looks towards you. Lloyd. She sort of tosses the knife onto the counter and begins to make her way towards you. Again, it's much quicker than your father, and she scoops you up as best she can. There's a brief attempt, you think, maybe caught up in the moment, to lift you, almost forgetting your age. She settles to squeeze.
I've put on a little bit of weight, Ma.
She
Happy
pulls
weight.
back and kind of starts to kind of assess you, and she says, "You don't look it.
Fair enough.
Have you been eating?"
I'm trying a new diet.
Diet? Are you serious?
Yes, I am.
What could you
not
possibly need a diet for?
It's diet doesn't mean weight loss, Ma.
That's all I've ever heard the word diet used for. What could you? Sorry, in your worldly travels, did you find a new meaning for this?
I did.
You're just in time for lunch, and she gives you a kiss on each cheek and says, "If you give me just a moment, we'll make this right. Give me 2, and we'll have you unable to leave the door again."
I can almost assure you that I can take a day off. Or at least one lunch. But, Mother, this is my partner, Relg.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Mum.
Takes your hand and kind of takes it to shake, and then kind of claps her left over the top of yours, and here, you're a bard.
No, we're together.
It takes a moment for her to kind of click. Oh, that's lovely. Oh my God, I'm so sorry for any behavior that has he been good?
He's trying his best.
She quickly turns to you, Calamus, and says, "What have you done?"
I killed a monster.
Little troublemaker, what monster did you kill?
Let's see. I've killed a Bruxer.
Mm-hmm.
We killed a bone man. Relg
How'd you-
killed the bone man,
I can
but
bet
I
you
didn't.
one way he found the fucking Brooks. You must forgive him. He never listened when he was young. Apologize for anything that he's been untoward with.
When he was young, I would love to hear more about that, Mum. So much.
Oh my
Leave
goodness!
you here
I
to
would
rake
catch
in
him.
stories.
And she begins to just kind of bombard you. She takes you over. She guides you to sit. She makes remarks about your thinness, Relgan. She begins to set things out that were likely meant to be kind of not really like side dishes, just bread, and there's a couple apples tossed in here. She encourages you to try a bit of tomato, and which she thinks, she gives you like a pile of a little bit of sugar.
Yeah, no, thank you. Uh,
Yeah, she's going
yeah, traveling
full mom.
hasn't. This is so weird for Relk.
Yeah,
And
she will feed you and tell you stories of Lloyd in his younger years.
Calamus will go to the room that used to be his alone and is now. When Yoren was born, they put his crib in the room with Calamus, and now I imagine it has become Yoren's room alone. Where he knows that Yoren hates to use the front door like a civilized human being, and goes out the window, slides down the roof, and into the backyard.
You see this, yes, it's as you say. Though, as a precaution by your parents, they've added a ladder to the end of the roof so that he could at least try to be safe. But this is a small comfort compared to what you see in the room, Calamus. Banner of black with the shining sun.
Calamus remembers when he would wake in the middle of the night to this baby crying, and now here he is. And Calamus will kind of, with the amount of weight and strength that he's put on, kind of has to maneuver differently to get out the window. And we'll just kind of sit on the edge of the roof and watch him down in the yard for a moment.
You see him? He's built a training dummy, looks like. Simple straw and wood. It moves. He's fashioned a stick, a rather thick branch, to one end of it. You can see he's taken a... Rather than like a fencing pose, he's taken the double... Much like you have your Zweihander. It is the Zweihander, am I correct in that?
No, he uses a Skelligan Kriegsfeld.
Kriegsfeld, apologies. He takes a stance that looks to be meant for a two-handed blade, wielded with two hands, and he takes practice strikes. It might pain you to notice this, but he's not bad. This is against a training dummy. There's no telling what he would do against a live opponent.
Calamus will just look over him for a moment, and when he left, Yoren was 7 years old. And I think for a moment, seeing that young, emerald-eyed, sandy-haired boy has grown into a young man. Easily Calamus's equal in both height and weight. His sandy blonde hair has been shorn short where it used to be long, and Calamus would spend the afternoon brushing it with him and showing him how to braid it properly, and just call out to him as he kind of sees his head turn. As Yoren's distinguishing feature was, in a rather risky bit of medicine during his birth, they had to cut Serena open to get him out. He wouldn't come out through a natural birth, and the Medicae in question cut his face. And there's sort of a soft crescent-shaped scar that runs along his jaw.
It twists into likely a practice scowl as he turns to face whatever opponent calls out to him. He notices it's you, and
You're not as
narrows
half
his
as mean
eyes.
as you think you are, Yoren.
Could give old Mortimer a run for his money.
Old Mortimer didn't give you that scar. I'll hop off the roof. I've missed you.
Come back to train, little brother.
Maybe. I heard you were thinking about taking the black.
He rolls his eyes. Of course, that's why you came home.
That is exactly why I came home.
Did she write you and tell you?
Oh. I had to learn from the Smith's boy, Wilhelm.
Fucking Wilhelm.
So what?
Hypocritical on his part, in my opinion.
I asked.
To have you come back and discourage my path when he himself wears black armor, fights for the fury of the Emperor.
It's not what you're doing.
You're right. The glory of the Emperor is more like.
Also not what you're doing, Yoren. Do you want to keep spitting things that you don't even believe at me, or do you want to tell me the truth?
I am... You know what? It's none of your business. You've been gone for so fucking long that... Do what I please.
You can. I just want to let you know you're not doing what's best for you. Because you're still...
Best for me.
Because you're still lying to me. You're doing this to get out of here. Because you're angry with me for not taking you with me. You were a 7-year-old boy, Yoren.
Calamus Acarus, world-traveled, knower of people, reader of minds.
Taken up a bit of magic recently.
Adorable.
So what? What are you going to do about it? You're angry with me, and Calamus will take his sword out and throw it on the ground, hilt first, towards Yoren. What are you going to do about it?
His eyes rest on the sword for a good moment, Calamus.
Go on, pick it up. You're playing with a fucking stick. You think they're going to give you a stick and send you to the front? Pick it up.
He throws the stick to the side. He picks up your sword. It's...
Come on, then. And he'll
ill-suited.
slip the broken Nilfgaardian sword from his bracer. Come on.
You're so close. That could actually hurt you.
No, you can't. Because you're not ready.
I will be a soldier for the Emperor. I will leave this place.
There are other ways to leave. For Christ's sake, I'll walk you down to the stable and buy you
I
a
don't
horse.
need
and
you
can go
to
where
do
you
anything
please.
for me.
Yes, you do. You're still a boy. I was still a boy when I left. And that was not the right choice.
I am not a boy.
Show
I
me
am
then.
a soldier. He readies the
Go on
bow.
then.
Calamus, as you're calling him out, I'm going to make his roll for him. can choose to dodge, reposition, or block.
We're gonna reposition.
The fingers that I put up earlier, which is to say, hey Avery, I know you have your notifications off. I did shoot you a message.
I saw that. 31.
31. He swings. It's a very easy thing to sidestep. You don't even really need... You can add some flourish here if you'd like. By all means.
I think because Yoren has become such a powerful young man, seeing him lift into that high strike and sort of trying to bring it down in the diagonal, Calamus will step in and turn and put his back to Yoren's chest. And as he swings down, the back arm catches on Calamus's neck, and the sword, now moving only in his left hand because it's broken free from the right, Calamus will reach up and grab the back of his elbow and take the broken Nilfgaardian sword and loop it around on the inside of his wrist. Now what? You're dead. And he'll shove back again.
He looks embarrassed, and this stokes his anger. He ignores the sword. Calls out as he is going to take a swing at you. Yeah. It says, "It's because it's just another one of your fucking hand-me-downs. You may feel free to dodge, reposition, or block."
Come on, Cal, you've been learning from Ingrid. Tank it.
Yes. The very
block.
upset teenager. Let's stoke his embarrassment and anger. What could go wrong?
Grab the sword. Just
24
24.
on a block.
Take some narrative control.
Calamus will take the broken sword and block the descending slash, and just holding it up with one arm, and he'll let Yoren force him down until the blade is just kind of hovering like over his shoulder. Are you going to cut me? Or are you just going to keep playing around? You're not ready to leave. And he'll just sort of shove him back.
He falls backwards, quickly gets up. This point he starts to yell. Ingrid, Cersei, Relg, you can hear this from inside the home. It's not terribly loud, but you can hear it muted and muffled.
given the situation we're currently in and on high alert regardless, I think Ingrid's going to look to wait, Rogue, are you here? Or are you still upstairs?
I
One's
am getting
upstairs.
to hear all the embarrassing stories right now.
Right. Okay. Ingrid's gonna look to Cersei and she's gonna say, "I'm going to check on that."
You
I mean, we just heard a yell, right?
He's speaking, but
Yeah,
we haven't gotten to what he's
I
saying
should
just
say-
yet.
Gotcha.
give it a minute.
Okay, if you think that is best.
Can see Michelle is shaking his head. Sorry. Lloyd tries to teach Yoren as best he can, and one was very hurt when he left.
Understandable.
I could only imagine.
Relg, you get treated to a different, very different scene. His mother, Kind of sets things down and she stops mid-story and just kind of shakes her hands. Those fucking boys, excuse me, dear. She begins to go downstairs. You can see a lot of fierceness in her. She's likely going to just... She's going to go put a stop to this. But in this moment, Calamus... he yells and says, I should cut you. You deserve it. You think I don't know what you're doing? You think I don't know everything you've done? You're an enemy of the state. Everything you've done. The letters. I figured out your little fucking cipher.
Do you want to know how I got this sword? And he'll hold out the broken Nilfgaardian sword.
Still, it looks like.
I pulled it out of Uncle Fadewin's chest. They murdered our uncle. They murdered our queen.
It's war.
I'm trying to love you as best I can. Do you know what Adric used to do to me when I was your age and I was acting a fool? He beat me nearly to death. Mother had to swoop into the bathroom when I was but a babe when Tareen tried to drown me, Yoren. I am loving you as best I can. I'm begging you not to do this. You're not ready. If this is what you're resolved to do, this is your path to walk, and I can't save you from yourself. I'm just telling you, you're not ready.
Calamus, give me empathy persuasion.
Rogue's
Hey.
gonna wander downstairs with the rest of the group behind Lloyd's mother.
25.
5. As a note for the crew that is inside the house, Serena is not stopping. She is storming outside. You can see Michelle kind of just going after her as best he can, kind of not like calling after her, but kind of just like, dear, this is they're young boys. This is just how they play, fight, a lot of things. This is how boys are. And she storms out. Calamus, you can see Yoren is furious. Looks at you, and you can see him trying to be strong, trying to be tough in this moment. He's holding back tears. He's trying to speak, but it's the shakiness of the voice that he just clams up and... You should have taken me with you. You cared so much about how it would turn out.
Calamus will just rush forward and wrap his arms around him. You are always where I am. Still wake up sometimes and hear you crying.
He begins to not openly weep. You can feel the stain of wet along his shoulder.
Yoren, I have a friend who's a priestess of the sun. I've played entire tours in Nilfgaard. We have to be... Being a part of the Nilfgaardian army doesn't make you good or evil. You just have to be mindful of the orders you follow. There will always be someone above you who tries to get you to do something that feels wrong.
kind of laughs, just a small chuckle as the tears begin to flow a little more freely. He says, "It's called insubordination," they said.
If you need to be insubordinate, just get out of there quickly and I can help you. You have to make your own path. Same way I did. And if this is the path that you choose, then I understand. Do you think there are safer ways to go about it if you want to pursue a career by the sword? I know people in Skellige that would take you without a second chance.
I don't want to fight for Skellige.
Why do you want to fight for Nilfgaard?
Because this is our home.
Sintra is our home.
And we're a part of Nilfgaard now. Sintra, it doesn't exist. It's not real anymore.
Yes, it is. And let me introduce you to someone who will show you how much Sintra is alive. Come inside. Ingrid made me remember what it is to be a Sintran. We never give up. Phaedwin taught us that. I know you were young.
Pretty words, Bard. I just have one question. The fuck is Ingrid?
A Witcher.
He pulls away. You can see now the eyes are red, puffy. The shock on his face. And you can see now through your peripherals, its mother is standing, kind of tapping her foot, arms crossed, just glaring the two of you.
Now before Mama gives us both a good caning, let's get inside.
He nods and Serena kind of steps forward. Before you both could speak, she strides and she just puts her hands on both your shoulders, yours and his, and says, "My dear boys, you are so lucky we have company over. So lucky."
Sorry, Mama.
Yoren kind of looks down and says, "Sorry, Mama. Get inside."
Yoren and I will do the scullery after we eat. Sorry.
Good. Lunch is ready.
Calamus will pick up the sword and just kind of nudge Yoren. I killed King. Just take him inside.
That was crackled up a little bit on my end. I'm not sure if that was from everybody else. And B, we lost Luna, so we need to pause.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, we're good.
Oh no, she came back.
Welcome
Hi,
back.
Luna.
Yay! Hello. You
We
missed
must
my
all-
terrifying future mother-in-law.
Yeah, that was. What
Um,
was I was gonna say, don't mess with the matriarch.
So, very quickly, we're gonna check in. We're gonna kind of fade out of this. We're gonna discuss a little bit of how the night goes, what you guys purchase. Well, we can discuss what you guys purchase. You guys will have time after the session. Of
I have
course.
a list.
Yep.
Insane. But we're gonna fade a little bit out of this and continue on our downtime, checking on everyone's time, checking on how everyone's doing. How are we looking?
I'm doing solid. Yeah, whatever Calamus wants Ingrid to talk about to Yoren, she would have.
Don't
Probably
join the
talking about-
F-rated army.
Honestly, it would probably, like, just to make it very quick, Ingrid would have approached it in a situation of asking why he wants to fight, and if he says the same thing, kind of doubling down on that's
Before
not
we
a good
get into
answer.
that, real quick, again, I need to verify enthusiastic yes or like a very like honest like, hey, do we need to cut here?
Oh,
We
well,
can.
I'm good.
How's
I'm solid.
everybody-
Hell yeah.
I'm solid. My
Hell
brain is
yeah.
on my brain is on fire with character
Cool.
shit. So
Ingrid, please continue.
Okay, I didn't lose my train of thought. So she would have doubled down on that's not that's not a reason to fight. Why are you fighting? And trying to impart upon him her experiences not as a witcher, but as a woman at arms. Somebody who has been on the battlefield before several times, the losses that can come from it, the sacrifices that one is necessary to make in some of those situations, and then pointing out the fact that the big difference between Ingrid and Yoren, and that's the family that he has to come back to. The people that love and care about him, that don't want to see him hurt over a cause that's not his own.
I would like you all, as this is being said, and you guys spend the day with Calamus's family. One, to make this very clear, they're going to invite you to stay the night and probably a few nights after that. They'd like you to stay. This is a homecoming, and they want to keep their boy for as long as possible. And especially such interesting friends. The family is very interested to meet you. And Michelle continues to kind of hint at red is a good color for a wedding, maybe green, things like that. But I would like you guys in this moment to make a human perception roll.
And in an attempt to help Calamus, Rogue's gonna be like, "Oh, you're Yoren. I've heard so much about you. It's a pleasure to finally meet you in person. Like, Lloyd talks about you all the time."
Understood.
30, I
24.
exploded.
Oh,
Number.
I did too. Look at that. That's a 19 on a roll, plus my 5. 20,
21.
24.
24,
28.
21, Jesus. 28, 21, Calamus.
24.
24, Ingrid.
30.
Excellent. Next, and I did this a little bit backwards, I'd like Ingrid give me an empathy and persuasion.
I'm going to use all 8 of my luck on this.
Okay.
$24.
24. So, with 24, the words kind of seep in, and you can kind of tell that. All of you can kind of tell that. He's been painted an idea, likely to the individuals you've been talking to, not Wilhelm, but likely he spoke to Wilhelm's comrades or the brothers in arms. Likely even more. He's probably sought out, other young children that are going to be, young children, 15-year-olds. Just babes, really. Small fetuses.
Zygotes, if you will.
Yeah, embryos. So, he's likely talked to these individuals and kind of gotten the glory of battle. It's the myth. It's the painted lie. It's not easily squashed, but your words do reach. And should you bear a moment of honesty, the 24, show your scars.
Yeah.
Tell stories.
Honestly, if going into it, she would talk about the slaughter of Sintra, her experience with what she found and what she felt during that. And not only that, maybe in this moment, this is Lloyd's family. This is an extension of her own found family. She's going to talk about Bear Keep with him.
These things
She's gonna
bring it to reality. Maybe he's not ready. Maybe the glory of battle is not meant for him, not yet.
But
But there's with all of your human perception checks, perhaps an unfortunate truth shines through. This boy, Yoren, is proud of his home. He is proud of Atra. He is proud of where he lives. He is proud. He would gladly die and gladly defend his family. For that reason, in a way, he is proud to be Nilfgaardian. And should the North come marching, he will take up a sword and he will defend his home. No matter whose banner fly over his head.
I think with that realization, and she would talk about this with Calamus first. There's no way around this. If it comes to it, with the days that we spend here, I could train him how to use a sword better. If not, just so that he has a better chance at survival should the worst come. He's going to hit her.
I have an idea. I'll need to speak with the guard commander here. If he can get assigned to this garrison, they'll make sure he stays here. He'll be able to come home and sleep in his own bed every night. We cannot sway people from the paths that they choose for themselves. You cannot sway me from the path that I have chosen for myself.
Ingrid's gonna nod at that. Just like I've not been able to be swung from the path that I have chosen. You're right. But that is also why my offer stands. His stance is sloppy. It
is, and he telegraphs too much. There's too much. His shoulders indicate everything. There's not a single bit of finesse. But
I am willing to stay here with you for a few days if you wish it, and I can show him how to use two-handers properly if this is his desired path.
I think we'll only stay for a day or two, and then we should go.
Understood. But still, a day or two of training may make a lifetime of difference.
If you want to train with him, it's his choice. But tomorrow morning I'll go and speak with the garrison commander here, and I'll make sure that his palms are aptly greased to make the right decision.
You're a good brother. And you're a good person, Calamus. Lloyd.
Try to be. I try to be.
What would you prefer that we call you?
They're both true. I've become Calamus so much that Calamus and Lloyd, we are the same person. There's really no distinct line between either of us except for the accent. I mean, it's really up to you.
I think I like Lloyd a lot from what I've seen.
Lloyd's all right. He gets the job done. And that job is about to be scrubbing the dishes. So.
You have a wonderful family, too, from what I have seen. At least wonderful parents.
It's at this moment that you're interrupted by a call from Michelle. As he kind of calls out, "Lloyd, dear boy, the dishes can wait. Come sing us a song. It's been a long time since we've heard a tale told by Calamus Acarus himself."
Indeed. And just sort of as they move to that, he'll kind of side up to Relg and move over to his eldest sister, Sarah, who he's been writing letters to the entire time that he and Relg have known each other. And say, "Sarah, this is the man that I was writing you about." And he thought... Hold on.
No,
don't ruin it.
Let's not. It's lovely to meet you, and we
Relg
can just
thought that
bypass
we
that
were in
whole...
love, Sarah.
You talked about a lot of love in those letters, and you were very religious in writing them. I, and then there was the Duke that happened up, no, and Sarah, it's Relk.
It's a pleasure.
Oh,
to
you two
finally
know
put a
each other.
face. It's a pleasure to finally put a face to the name. Mom, I'm very pleased to meet you.
It's nice to meet you as well, Sarah.
And Calamus will sing his newest composition for them, an ode for Elodie.
You do this. As a note, as we fade away from this moment, Cersei, as you return to Elodie, she's eager to hear about it. How
Tell
were
her.
they?
Yeah, tell her everything. How pleasant everyone was. What we talked about. Tell her about Yoren.
She listens intently. She makes mention that she can't wait to meet them. She does kind of get a look in her eye when you speak about Michelle. To inquire, she kind of... I agree. Red is a good color for a wedding.
Well, I'm glad you agree because though it was going to be red either way.
Really, no discussion at all.
None.
Of course.
How have you been?
Cleaned.
Super.
Cersei, at this point, the place is as spotless as can be. There's a replacement of some furniture, which is a decent sign. She's gone into town.
You went in the town.
I'm trying to surprise Ingrid. She returns. I don't... Decoration senses, sparse.
Yeah. Bears.
Is it intentional?
So really good. Do like School of the Wolf Witchers like it's like is their thing wolves? Like they have a lot of wolf things.
But you guys take time and you guys discuss this. We pass into the second week, and Cersei takes 3 weeks to learn Standing Portal.
Yes.
I need you to make me a couple rolls for the first week.
Okay. I want to, as a point of note, I'm using the book and I'm not hiding it from Elodie.
Noted.
And I'm kind of waiting for her to say something.
Didn't say anything yet.
Okay. You want me to roll my spellcasting?
I'd like you to roll 2 of them right now, please.
That's a 1.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so like it's just gonna take extra time. Next roll. That's a 2.
That's a 2. Alright. Takes an extra day. So, now you need 3 weeks and a day.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like you... we'll get the other 2 out of the way first as we head into the second week. Go ahead and roll me 2 more.
3. You're going over here, buddy. 7.
Understood. Calamus, you have something.
I know we're drifting into week 2, but before we left there, under the guidance of Ingrid's knowledge of crafting mutagens, I did want to craft that mutagen with my dad.
Lovely. I love it. I would need a roll from you real quick.
Craft
Yeah,
and alchemy.
I believe so. Let me double check. I'm almost certain, actually.
Does having my assistance help with anything with this? I can't remember.
I would grant a +1 if I'm not mistaken. There we are. Yes. It would be alchemy.
I'll spend all 7 points of my luck.
And this is for the bone man.
Yes. Jesus Christ. Okay. So, without any modifiers yet, we're sitting at, just with my luck modifier, we're sitting at a 26. And then 8 from my craft, which would be 34. And 4 from my alchemy, which would be 38.
38 +1 from Ingrid to
39.
39. And a
Plus
roll
1 from
from Papa. That'll be a nice
40.
even 40.
I
It's
think that's
done.
better than the mutagen that was made with me.
It's done.
Damn,
And
better than Esther.
under the guidance of a master alchemist, I'll grant something very unique. I'll give you a choice here. $20 was the alchemy DC. You've doubled it. I will grant you a choice of either making 2 against all odds or reason, or crafting 1 that has no minor aesthetic mutation. So, for your knowledge, for the Bone Man's mutagen, grant patchy fur and sickly gray skin.
Yeah.
See, I mean,
I-
to be perfectly fair, Ingrid's going to talk about a little bit of this and once again point out that my skin did not always look like this.
Calamus will make 2.
Understood.
When it-
Against
when it
all
is-
odds.
When it is done, he will confide in his father, and knowing that his father will keep his confidence, that one of these is for himself eventually, and extrapolate on the plans to become a Witcher. And then, as he hands the second to Ingrid, say, I wouldn't have made it out of Bruges without you. Things that I've learned from you have changed me.
And I could say the same about you. I could say the same about all of you.
I know sometimes we row a bit about how we feel about things, but you're always going to be my teacher, Ingrid. And I already followed you into the bowels of Herrn Kaduk, and I would follow you there 1,000 times over.
Ingrid's not crying, but Rachel sure as shit is. There is a stir, though, within Ingrid. And she hears that, and she's... Thank you. You... Even with everything, you've stuck by us. Stuck by me. You've helped me, just the same as you have said that I have helped you. Cersei, Relg, you, me. We are family, in my eyes. for whatever that is worth.
Look around you.
And I'm starting to realize that I might have another reason to fight Renwick now. A better reason.
Thomas will just pat Ingrid on the shoulder and give his dad a kiss on the cheek.
The second you pat the shoulder, that's it. Ingrid was holding something back for a second there, and I was trying to choke back a tear, like a cry session there, because I am a wimp. And Ingrid is going to full-on bear hug Calamus.
Yeah, we can re-yield to Cersei and the learning. I just wanted to...
Yeah, sorry.
I want to make one note. As you confess to your father that you intend to take this. He pats your hand. Says, I know precious little about how dangerous this really is, even at my expertise. But I know that you're a very special boy. And that if anyone was to continue on this legacy against everything, that would be you, my boy. And under many special stars.
Actually, Pop, that reminds me. Did Mousesack ever ask to take me with him?
Not that I recall, no. He did, was trying to be sweet for a moment, but he was the one that kind of gave me the special stars line. Said that you were very special.
We met someone. We met a mage. Did we have any mages from Aretusa here when I was a boy that I can't remember? Aurelia, maybe?
I recall a woman by that name, yes. I believe so, yes. Mousesack brought her. Didn't do much, didn't say much, just observed.
Interesting. There is one last thing I need you to do for me because I won't be here when it happens. And Calamus will hand his lyre to Michelle. Wilhane's wife is with child. I would like you to give this to her when the child is born. A gift for Wilhane's son.
Of course, my boy.
Thank you.
Don't you need it, though?
Oh, Pop, I can get another one. And if all of this goes right, I won't be barred very much longer. I meant to make some show of giving it to Yoren, but I don't think he's meant for music.
Catch him singing when he bathes sometimes. He can't carry a fucking tune to save his life.
Any more than that, you remember the first tub that we put upstairs?
Oh, goodness. There's a reason we moved it outside.
Thank you for everything. And I think only Ingrid really would notice that Calamus is not wearing his dwarven traveling cloak. And he definitely would have paid off that garrison captain.
Yeah, tracking all that.
How?
Did you bribe him with the cloak?
No. The cloak is folded up neatly with a note from Lloyd in Yoren's closet that says, "Wherever you go, however many miles your feet do tread, this has kept me warm and dry, and it shall do the same for you."
As a note, as we fade out of this, of course it is a heartfelt goodbye. Of course they don't want you to go. Last in Yoren's room, the banner that once hung, it is not gone, but it is neatly folded and set on a shelf.
Good.
Into this second week, want to invite Relg and Cersei? Is there anything that the two of you wish to accomplish?
All I wanted to do after, aside from what I've already done, was attempt to see if we could make more moon dust bombs. And ask Elodie if the ring looks familiar. Like, if it has a pair or a partner.
I will tell you this. Oh,
Did I robot
The
out?
video. I
no,
think the
no,
video
it's just frozen. We're good. We're good. We're good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'll tell you this. The moon dust bombs and everything is going to depend very greatly on the stuff that you were able to get from Michelle.
We can do all that off screen too.
Which we're gonna make some rolls and such off screen. But the ring, Elodie would entrust with you that it is a ring that Renwick wears.
I cut out. Can you start over?
It is a ring that Renwick wears.
I knew. I had a feeling.
Renwick, by her words, never trusted even his own mages, and so would keep a very tight leash on them.
Funny. Funny that a mage will watch him burn.
Well,
Damn.
do you have anything after that horrific comment?
love
Yeah,
that.
for that horrific comment. Rogue just kind of wanted to talk to Serena a little bit more before we left about
By all means.
Aurelia, actually.
Hmm.
Just kind of
Would you
spending
like to
time
inquire?
with Lloyd's family and kind of just talking about some of the things, not the criminal activities that we've been up to. We're just gonna slide that under. Yeah, we've been traveling together for 2 years. It's been great. You know, Lloyd's been playing shows. Definitely nothing else.
But no, our most recent companion actually was this mage named Aurelia. She said she'd come through town quite a few times. Did you know her? Especially with the shop you have.
She would buy things frequently here, yes.
Okay.
Supplies, mainly. She'd always tip very well. She was decent. I'm glad that you found her on the road.
Well, she more found us, but so like she was around when Lloyd was growing up.
Frequently. I'm surprised. Did they have conversations?
Not really. Lloyd didn't really know who she was.
That's strange. He was young. I wonder if maybe he's forgotten.
Time has a way of doing that. That is odd though. Like, she knew him pretty well, said she was keeping an eye on him.
It's kind of her, but I don't recall her taking any particular interest in him.
Yeah, she mentioned someone named Malsak as well. So
Yes, there was a couple. Lloyd only met Masak once, maybe twice, but there's also a purveyor here, but Masak took more of an interest in Lloyd than Aurelia did.
see, I would have thought they'd see each other more than that with how Lloyd talks about them.
I recall he left quite an impression, if I'm not mistaken. There's a friend of his that actually comes by. It's a shame that you missed him. He came a few days before you all did. Just on a resupply.
Oh, well. And who's that?
I believe he doesn't come nearly as often as I imagine he probably should with everything he's been aiming to get up to, but Urmion, I believe his name is.
That's quite a name. You
Interesting
another
fellow.
mage or just
Druid.
druid? Huh. I haven't spent much time with druids. Well, a couple, but it was a very brief encounter.
Hmm.
I love the stew you make. Could you give me the recipe?
She nods. You notice Rogue, she's kind of maybe in perception roll.
Okay. I always forget what my intelligence is for. Okay, so
Me on the daily.
15.
She's trying to remember more. It's like something's bothering her about this. It's like she's trying to remember more, but just unable.
Cersei about later.
What was the guy's name?
Yeah, if we could
Hermione.
get that in the chat.
Yeah,
Hermi-
absolutely.
Hermione?
Hermione.
I know who that is.
Like Cersei knows who that is, or Luna knows who that is.
Wonderful. So yeah, have a nice conversation with this lovely woman that Rogue would kill so many people for free for.
For free is the
Mhm.
highest compliment. So as we fade into the still in the second week, is there anything of note from anybody?
Just whenever the
That is
conversation with
going to
Elodie.
be our last item, if that's all right with you.
Oh yeah, no, that's perfectly fine.
Because we love a dramatic ending. So Cersei, I need you to make me one more roll. You have 2 more, technically, after this. Because of your failed previous.
So you just lied and said one more roll.
It's a 10.
Understood.
Bitch.
Time passes. You eventually return to the home. Elodie has spruced the place up, Ingrid. She has, likely through persuasion more so, because she didn't really have coin of her own, acquired some new furniture. It's not a whole lot. It's not brand new, but the place looks clean. And whatever movers or contractors here have patched some sort of wall. Relg, I'm so sorry. They patched the wall that you had previously patched.
It's fine. I'm gonna learn from their patch how to be a better carpenter later.
A relg of all trades. We need to get that as a shirt.
I love that. But yes, you come home to a more intact lodge.
Elodie,
He's not perfect, but forgive me, I had idle hands.
there's a long, pregnant silence as Ingrid just takes it in. Is the mold smell gone too?
It is gone.
Oh, she'd probably put on a simmer pot.
Oh, that sounds so good. Oh my god. In all honesty, it's probably even better than how Ingrid had kept it before.
It's very nice. It's the foliage and growth that was taking it is fought back. It's very nice. But she doesn't wait for your compliments. She just smiles and invites you inside to see the rest. It's just, again, little things. She has polished the shield so there is not just one mark that is kind of shined. She's taken great care. She has not acquired new mattresses, but cleaned as best that they could. They're still a little stained when you move the furs about, but restuffed. It's nice.
I don't know what to say. Elodie, you've given me my home back.
I only cleaned. You had your home here the entire time, just a bit smelly.
She's gonna crack a smile at that. Thank you. I'm sorry. I need time.
Of course.
I would like to talk to you soon.
Of course.
And Ingrid's gonna explore. She's just
Do
gonna
this. Explore, and again, you find it's still relatively bare. There's not really like a whole lot of new furniture. What has been restored is very nice. We go into the 3rd week. Another roll, Cersei.
Eight.
8. Excellent. And as we fade into the final day after the 3rd week, so 3 weeks and a day, need your final roll, Cersei.
Oh.
You may now add Standing Portal to your repertoire.
Thank you.
For this
got there.
remainder of a week and a half and a day, I will leave it all to you to decide what non-pertinent things you do. We'll decide between episodes. How you make your time, whether you lounge, simply be domestic, or partake in small jobs, small things. For this
Earned
final day,
allowance.
Elodie finds you, Ingrid. Where do you think she finds you?
Honestly, in this moment, she probably finds me. You said there were some figurines left, right? Did
Yes.
Elodie like put them in any specific like order or anything like that? Because they were kind of just strewn about.
Yeah, she has positioned them kind of like almost like little action figures. There is a roaring lion ready to fight a bear. There is a gazelle sort of in a circle with what looks like a little giraffe and a zebra. Kind of looks like they're in a circle, and she's arranged one of them so like the zebra is kind of reared up, though it shouldn't be. It's at the flat, and it just looks like they're dancing of some sort. It's a strange balance.
Ingrid's looking over that, smiling. I would say probably in the span of these 3 weeks in general, she has like off and on taken the drug that Calamus had given her, revisiting that dream, having more self-realization. But yeah, Elodie will find her contemplating over that display.
She points at them all. It is you. What of you? The menagerie.
We do make a interesting menagerie, don't we?
The
A
bear,
family.
the fox, the serpent, the lion. Quite picked one out for Elg yet.
He is a man of many trades and many skills. I think a proud chimera would fit.
Perhaps a goat. I like goats.
Goats are cute.
You wish to speak with me? You have been avoiding me.
I think I've been running. As a bard friend has said, Sorry, I just saw chat for a second there. Whenever I look at you, I remember the day that I asked you to go watch on Heron Kaduk. And the pain that has brought both you and Cersei. And I cannot help but feel responsible that I have hurt, even in a small way, people that I love. And it's then that she's going to finally turn and just look at Elodie, eye to eye. And she's going to say, I am sorry. I am sorry for all that pain that happened to you. And I'm sorry that we were not there sooner.
Ingrid, you are not the cause of my pain. None of this was your doing. This was all him. You must Stop blaming yourself. You came. You saved me. It's by yours and Cersei's and Relg and Calamus's hands that I am free.
I'm thankful to have you here. For you to be with Cersei here. And all of us here. Okay, that was a jump scare for the music track there. Thank you, Gilbert.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. And I've had a lot of realizations lately. For the longest time, I had been going against Renwick purely out of revenge for my people, for my lost love, a sentiment that we embraced together, you and I, in the shop back in Vizima, when I shared with you. But everything that's happened now, I realize that I have something new to fight for, better to fight for. Your love with Cersei, Calamus and Relg's love, my own healed heart. Those are the reasons why I fight now. You called us a menagerie, and to me that means family. Thank you.
Yeah. A culmination of things. You don't need to thank me, Ingrid. Nor do you need my forgiveness. You have my friendship free.
I am going to hug you now, is that okay?
Of course.
She will.
I'm gonna. Cersei busts through the door, panting. Sintra, Sparting.
Oh.
They're here.
Ingrid's eyes are wide, and she pulls back from the hug, hands still on Elodie's side for a quick second before she grabs for her sword. Sintra's on fire. Sintra's on fire. We have to go.
Sintra's on fire.
We need to go.
Go where?
Do we?
Do
I'm
we even
assuming
know
it's him.
what's happening?
Who set Sintra on fire? Was it Nilfgaard again? Or
I don't know. I don't think
Wouldn't
Nilfgaard
make
was
sense.
thrown.
Ingrid?
Yeah.
Are you with us? Or what's wrong, Ingrid?
Can't let it burn again. We have to protect who we can. We have to save who we can.
We may not have much of a choice, Ingrid. But I do think, Cersei, I think a standing portal would be Fitting.
Yeah.
Elodie, do you think you can manage, or do you need to stay here?
Need to go.
We need to get in and get out. Can't linger too long. We can save the people we can save. And then we need to get back here. We need to get on the cart and we need to go.
Cersei, your old shop, do you still remember where it was? It was close to the center of town, was it not?
Of course. Why?
Could you standing portal us to the center of town? And then we can head towards the exit and save who we can.
Sure. And she'll look to Elodie.
Nuts.
Run up and I'll kiss her.
She kisses you in kind.
I don't think you should stay. You should stay.
I need to help. The longer we sit and discuss this, the more people die.
And she'll she'll go outside and cast standing portal.
As you all
It's
step
great.
outside, there are no Nilfgaardian war machines. There are no soldiers. There's no clash of blades. This is not war. Elodie looks out. In horror. It's here. Dear heroes, Renwick has come, drawn from his castle, his throne, and he is burning Sintra anew. What do you do?
Ingrid's pulling out Fate.
I'm casting standing portal, but I'm leaving the book in the hidden compartment of the cart.
I am in my armor as much as I can be.
Because we'll cover it in off-screen time, but Calamus is going to ask Ingrid to help him into his armor.
Very cool. Also, we never got to making your silver sword. Fuck. So.
Handle that in off time. Handle that in off time. That doesn't have to happen on screen.
Okay.
People, if there's people around, trying to direct them to some sort of exit, because it's not an army, it's a man on a warpath on his own.
If we do this right, we can get them out through Cersei's portal.
How long can you maintain it?
Long enough.
Ingrid,
Expanded magic.
Yes.
he's not in hand, Kaduk. Once we get everyone out, we could take it.
Yes. This might be the opportunity we need.
The longer you deliberate,
We need to
the more
go.
We
people
need to
die.
go. Yeah.
Cersei,
Go
you
through.
cast standing portal.
Yes, I do.
One by one, you step through. You emerge in a burning courtyard. And here's where you first had your first shop, Cersei. People are rushing, without water calling out. Nilfgaard has come. The soldiers are here. The war has reached us. Others are calling out the north, the north. A muddied line of loyalists and people that remember that golden lion. In the distance, atop a statue, standing, watching it all in chaos, is a single man. And that is where we'll end tonight's episode. Thank you all so much for playing, and especially being here for this extended episode. We will join you all again for the finale. We're going to go around the room real quick and let everyone know who you are, what you do, where they can find you, who you played. Let's begin, of course, with Calamus Acros.
Hello, everyone. It's me, Avery. I am a community ambassador right here on the Rolling Nomads. You can find me playing everyone who doesn't introduce themselves at the beginning of the episodes in all 10 episodes of Season 1 of Transylvania Beckons that are chilling on our YouTube channel. You can find me very soon as Unsere Gnädige Edgar Wade on Berlin Bloodlines. And you can find me right here on Witcher Ways of Old as Lloyd Bowen.
Lloyd Bowen, indeed. Sing us a song, Calamus Acros. Excellent. Let's go over to Cersei Aveline.
Hello, I'm Luna, or Druid by Night. You can find me at Druid by Night on all the social medias, including here on Twitch where I stream. I am the social media director here on the Rolling Nomads. I play Rosalind, the first premier prince in Transylvania Beckons, and I will soon be Imogen Lamia in Berlin Bloodlines. But tonight, I have been Cersei Aveline, Sorceress Supreme, Lover of Vampires, and Slayer of One Man.
Outstanding. Ingrid of Sintra, if you'd kindly.
Hi, I am Rachel, or Azure. I am the creative director here on Rolling Nomads. I am also Prince Juliana Vostadt from Transylvania Beckons, soon to be Maria Russellini, the Mistress of Ghosts from Berlin Bloodlines. And I am here, Ingrid of Sintra, the Disaster Bear Witcher, who is both healing and traumatized at the same time right now.
Why not both?
Yes, why not both?
Absolutely. And last, but of course, certainly not least, Rogue Gwithin.
Hello! This evening I have been Relg, future prospector, attempted hero, and future son-in-law of Serena and Michelle, because those people are lovely, and I'm keeping them forever. But, you can also find me on Transylvania Beckons playing the Prince of Our Hearts, Jack. Lovely gang role. You should definitely check out that first season. It's amazing and traumatizing. Make sure you like trauma before you check that out. And you'll soon catch me as Adelaide Nagaraja in Berlin Bloodlines.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, I'm Az. Hi, I'm Az, or as I was. I have a name. I'm a real person. I swear.
And now a goat, a part of the
And now
menagerie.
I am now a goat.
No, it was just a joke from the fucking before stream. You don't have to be a
Never
goat.
make a joke. Never make a
Everyone
joke.
else
I
has a-
am
Never
Goat
make a
Man.
joke.
Everyone else has a neat animal. You don't have to be a goat.
Goat.
Hey, to be perfectly fair, I gave you Chimera and everybody went goat.
Chimeras are
I
good.
trust Elodie.
Elodie's
goat.
gonna try to make Chimera happen, and you guys are being just like, no, goat.
Goat.
Outstanding. I have been your game master for tonight, Gilbert Ramos. Found everywhere at Ramos the Nomad. That's TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, all of those social media things. I do things here. A game master and storyteller here on the Rolling Nomads. I am also Ramon Flores on Are We Dead Yet? and soon I will be Dr. Tullio Giovanni in Berlin Bloodlines. I do a great many deal of other things, including some Scion stuff on Onyx Path, and I think that's about all I do. I'm also the media director here at Rolling Nomads. We, of course, have been the Rolling Nomads, collectively, as a unit, as a whole. We are Legion. You can find us right here on twitch.tv/Rolling Nomads, where we put all of our actual plays and all of our stuff. And, yeah, right here on Twitch is where our schedule's at and all our good stuff. But if you want up-to-date stuff, and our cancellations, our late starts, our new programming, all that good stuff, it's over on our Twitter, @_Rolling Nomads, and our Blue Sky, @Rolling Nomads. That's where you can get up to date with us for all of our new stuff and all of our live updates. These episodes go up on YouTube 4 days after air date on Twitch, over on youtube.com/Rolling Nomads. So this will be up on Friday, which will give you plenty of time to catch up and all that good stuff before the finale on the 16th. So, we also have a website that is in the chat, rollingnomads.cart.co, where you can find all of our stuff, and it's are linked to our Ways of Old website as well, where you can. It's still a little bit on construction, but we're getting stuff in there that's like character profiles, people profiles. We're gonna have blogs. We might be able to finagle. Well, maybe. I don't know. Doesn't that go on your Patreon? Your story? Oh, she froze. Okay, well,
Yes.
who's
Well,
to say?
Yep,
Excellent.
yeah.
I have an idea about that, but we can talk later.
Yeah, we'll talk later. Yeah, so we do a bunch of stuff. That's all of our website, or TikTok. We have a TikTok @_Rolling Nomads, where you can find highlights and key moments from these shows and such. And you head over there if you are looking for something in particular, or you might put on something that you didn't know you liked, and you'll find something new for your morning commute. That is us in a handbasket. We appreciate you guys very, very much. We're there. We got one more, guys.
Yeah.
Wild.
Mhm.
Crazy to think about. I did want to say, if you have favorite moments from some of the episodes that are up here on the VODs, feel free to clip them. You might see them show up someplace.
Absolutely. But with that being said, we're going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much. We will see you guys next time. Different time, same place, same heroes. We'll see you then.